Fair Lease. Fair Lease. Fair Lease, a new partner here on the Dumb Zone. You go to fairlease.org. You probably guessed it. They're here to help you lease a car. If that's a situation that you find yourself in, check them out, fairlease.org. You might have some time off coming up over the holidays. You're typically used to having to go spend a whole day at a dealership and deal with some bros 7 Monster energy drinks deep. Cut that out. Just deal with Fair Lease. They can handle this all for you. You can sign the paperwork from the comfort of your home. See the vehicles online right there. They will give you a trade-in estimate. They will make this as easy as it can possibly be. And it's fair.
Is it cost effective?
It is cost effective, Blake. Thank you for looking at the copy.
Yes.
You drive now, pay later, zero money down, no payments for, is it 59 days?
It says here 60.
Thank you, Blake. Flexible lease terms, 36 to 60-month terms. Good people over there at Fair Lease, big fans of the show. So do us a favor and do yourself a favor. When it's time to lease a car, go to fairlease.org.
Washington Redskins, go f*** yourself.
Look, don't you see that when you call your organization the Washington Redskins, it's offensive to us?
How is it offensive?
How is it offensive? Jesus! We are a proud team, Mr. Cartman. We have no wish to be associated with people who actively do nothing. It makes us feel like a joke.
Guys, we have total respect for you. When we named our company Washington Redskins, it was out of deep appreciation for your team and your people.
All right. I never listen, I'm gonna listen. I wanna listen to the Dumb Zone.
Great spot, guys.
Hey, thanks, man.
Hey,
the thing
Dan.
about it is it's fair.
What's the opposite of fair again?
Probably unfair.
Yep.
Not fair?
Yep.
There has to be a better one than that. What's the word for opposite? Antonym?
There you go.
Or
you go.
It's
You're
not
fine.
the word for it's, well, whatever.
What's a synonym for opposite? Antonym. Sort of.
Why are we starting this way?
It's not good.
Oh, I don't know.
It's not good. Not hooking anybody with that.
Welcome to our Monday program. I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jake Kemp.
I'm Blake Jones.
And along with Video Man Rob Chickering, we are live today in... Is this Carrollton?
It is.
I don't know that I've been a Carrollton guy, really.
No?
How about you guys?
No, I don't know
Spend
what.
any time here?
Not really, no. Not
We
really.
are at Cane Rosso. The greatness of Cane Rosso.
the best pizza in DFW, and it ain't close. They're like Larry Bird in that three-point competition. You step in. Who's taking second?
Larry Bird and his 1-3 made per game. His career high.
The point is better than the others.
Yeah. Cane Rosso in Carrollton. That's why we mentioned Carrollton. Don't want you to just go to any old Cane Rosso. There are many. Well, I mean, I do want you to go there. We want.
You okay?
No. I haven't done a show in a while. I
You have.
forgot
You've
how
been
to do a
off for a
show.
minute.
I don't know how we ever did one starting at 11. Are we live streaming today,
We are.
Rob? Yeah.
We
Yeah.
are.
Like we're live on video.
That's right.
And we're live to tape as well, if you're listening to us later. Maybe in front of a nice warm fire tonight.
Perhaps you're watching DZTV tonight.
Is it fire season?
Oh, it's fire season. It's well into fire season.
Because I haven't
Fired up the fire?
I haven't sparked one yet.
No, if it's this morning's weather, leave no doubt. No doubt. What is wrong with me too? He's rubbing off on me.
Are y'all okay?
Well, let's just let Blake handle it
Yeah,
since he's so
it's the
good.
Blake Show.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you to Cane Rosso. Yes, thank you.
Blake's so good at words.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all I got.
All right, so for
Kinda
live
like
streaming, we could actually invite people out here. If you're
Sure.
actually tuning in and you're like, man, I got nothing to do today.
Maybe you're off.
Like, look at 690 Scene over here.
Yep.
The man of he could just do what he wants. Does his thing.
The kids are off, so maybe you're a teacher, like some of the teachers at, I'm assuming they were teachers at Jimmy Nelson's comedy show last night that I will tell you about here in a minute.
Okay.
I think people are off. Some people are off this week. They got lunch specials, drink specials this afternoon, and pizza.
And tater tots.
And tater tots.
And is that on the copy? They want you to promote tater
It
tots?
actually is.
Oh,
it actually
really?
is. A lunch
Why?
lunch special, you can get a 10-inch pizza and a salad, or if you're a man like us, tater tots.
Instead of the salad?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Not just one tot?
You'll have to find out.
Maybe it's a big tot.
It could be a massive tot.
You can't eat just one, they say.
Tater tot?
They're just so good, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You would pop one in and you're like, "Never, my friend."
I heard somebody mention Words with Friends over the weekend. Do people still play that? Do people still play that? I don't even really know what it is, but
I think
It's,
Dan does.
Yeah, I do. It's Scrabble.
okay.
Are you a Scrabble guy?
No, I mean we played it when I was a kid, but I've never really played any phone game.
Why not?
I don't know. It feels like a waste of time to me. But also, I understand there is intellectual value to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're working on your vocabulary.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they can call it a game if you want because
we
you're
can sell
competing
ourselves
with
with
someone. But yeah, you're not playing bubble pop. There's a difference, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's what we'll tell ourselves as we sit there staring at our phone.
I mean, that's what you tell yourself when you give the kid ABC mouse. You're like, this is not tablet time. He's learning.
Yeah.
They're not.
On today's program, we're kind of all about the Cowboys, but I will give you a report from my weekend in Clemson. I was at Clemson, South Carolina, to help Dabo take down the mighty Citadel. What is the Citadel?
I've always assumed it was somehow military related, but
Yeah,
your guess is as good as mine.
Oh, I
bud.
thought for sure you would know. Like it's some branch of the military. Like it's not West Point. That's
No.
Army. That's where Scene went.
Yeah.
It's not Space
Just ask
Force.
him.
It's not Navy. It's not Space Force.
What if Space Force gets a football team?
It'd be great.
That would be great. They'd have to air it out, right? Or would they be like the others?
Yeah.
Like they can't be like the other.
Yeah, Air
service
Force is like a
academies?
ground and pound.
I know.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
They'd have to get Kevin Kelly, feels like.
We may be seeing very soon.
We will.
Anyway, I'll give you that report later. The Cowboys had a huge win, a big win.
Big win. Well, I watched
guess
the
that's the way
second
it is.
half this morning. I'm interested to see how we choose our own adventure here.
Yeah, I
'Cause
was
it's 13-9.
I was behind by a few hours because of the landing yesterday on my flight, and I didn't know the score, so it was a nice, pleasant surprise. And then after the missed field goal, or no, excuse me,
Missed
the missed
extra
extra point, I had written down, okay, Cowboys win, final score. And then I went,
Thanksgiving on my side of the family.
He's got it worse than my divorce-riddled family. He's got Saturday, Thursday, Saturday.
So her family knows that,
It's like Adele made this schedule. Go ahead.
getting at the Cowboys,
Yeah, but that didn't land, so keep going.
I'll plow through.
I don't even know what's going on here.
Computer used to complain about this a
Oh.
lot.
Yeah. So I feel like you have an A set and a B set of grandparents.
Okay.
I'm going to put it all out there. Everyone knows. And I think her family is so used to being the B side that they just know they're not getting Thanksgiving. So they will go the Saturday before or the Saturday after. And so her mom's side did Saturday before, her dad's side Saturday after. So this one was in-law Saturday Thanksgiving.
So he last week went to a wedding of his wife's friend by himself, no wife.
That was my friend.
And this week he goes to his wife's parents' Thanksgiving, no wife. I would do neither of those things. I would've
Yeah, why
told- I
wouldn't
would've
your
told him to
wife's
F
parents
off.
schedule it when she could go?
Because they know that they're going to his family.
He squatted on
Yeah.
Thursday?
Yeah.
Boy, I bet they love him.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
Just a good family member. Good guy. Good son-in-law.
And why don't you just, bounce house to house on Thanksgiving?
No, because
That way it's all done that day.
It is a pain in the
That's
ass.
a beating.
I can tell you.
Because if you show up to one house and you tell them, "Oh, I'm not eating. We already had Thanksgiving," that's insulting.
You end up, everybody's mad.
yeah.
Because I've always had to do 3. This year I only have 2 Thanksgivings. And that's huge for me. But when you have 3, every grandma is upset with you.
Are you guys hosting one or no?
No. Every grandma, you sure you don't want to take a plate? I'm like, I got a
Right.
plate already.
Yeah.
And I got another place
That's
to go.
why you just have to tell them yes, and you can throw it away at the garbage or
Yeah,
garage or gas station. Sorry.
Yeah, it's too rushed. The kids are bitching and moaning about having to change scenery. There's no good option here other than to just withdraw from.
The good note, enchiladas
Solid.
on Saturday.
I like that. Eschew the typical Thanksgiving meal.
We've done
Give
that
my
over the
vote. Way
last
to
10
go.
years. It's
Eatsies help you out with that too if you want to
Yeah.
well, each
take a turn.
Yeah, they got the turkey, but I never get it.
So I had a massive weekend.
Is that your
in
whole thing?
retrospect.
Then just had a squared away Sunday.
Can't beat it. Sheets, car wash. What do we got?
Shower.
Showered for the first time in a while.
Pretty basic.
But yeah, laundry, Cowboys game.
I didn't shower in
get right.
South Carolina, so I showered when I got home.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah.
Even like after the airplane.
Even after the airplane.
You didn't shower for 5 days
It was like 4.
God,
3.
man.
and a flight.
And
What
a
is
flight.
that?
Well, that's why I had to shower right when I got home, and I feel great and I look great right
Man,
now.
I enjoy the hotel shower.
I'll make it a on you.
Yeah,
I generally
we know
do,
that.
but I didn't.
So Friday night,
I can't believe we're letting him get off this easy.
I don't know what to say about it anymore. He's disgusting. Friday night, the wife had many months ago purchased tickets to a concert at the American Airlines Center. Texas's own, East Texas, probably claims DFW, big city, was Casey Musgraves. She sold out 2 nights at the American Airlines Center.
And you had to go?
I'm a fan.
All right.
I'm a fan.
Name a song. Name one hit.
Slow Burn.
Give me a few bars.
No, I will
What?
not. No, I will not.
Sounds like you're a fake fan, but go ahead.
I am a fake fan. I like a dozen or so of her songs. She's good. It's kind of like, it's mostly chill, stonerish country music. It's very laid back. And she's a big, or previously was a big. So the songs have that vibe. They're relaxed. And she's also a flawless performer and stunningly beautiful, I must say.
Okay.
So Friday night we went down there. We had dinner with Julie and former Stars video man Kelly Forbes
Okay.
down there. And that was great.
schmoozing with sales.
Yeah, no, it was a little. Don't ask me if you guys see a sushi charge on the company card, but no, Kelly's the best, man. He's a super, super interesting dude. Big old Canadian boy. He's a great dude. Then we went to the show. The show was nice. We perfectly timed skipping every opener, which wasn't even really fully intentional because the band opening for is from Dallas, Lord Huron, kind of a fan, but just literally walked in 5 minutes before she started. And this is where Reddit and stuff like that comes in very handy. Because you can find out what songs they're playing and when. If they're on a tour. Set lists get posted, start time, and that stuff is running on a clock now. So
Yeah, it's nice to miss the opening.
if you want to, it's not bad. Yeah. Casey Musgraves, very popular.
Did you go to just dinner with Julie, or you
Yeah.
went to the whole concert with her?
No, we just met them for dinner, and then they
Okay.
were going out to do their we got a babysitter night. They were on their way to a big night, it appeared. Casey Musgrave is very popular in Texas, also very popular with the male homosexual, which I didn't totally know.
Okay.
Very popular. I knew she had a song kind of about, being yourself and whatever, but I'd never seen so many bedazzled jackets on men before,
Okay.
and it was awesome.
That's probably a good market.
Yeah, it's a fun market,
What
I
can
can
we
tell
do
you
for that? How can we capture that right
You
here?
could show hog.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know that you could call what I have a hog.
You could show Piglet. Thank you, Rob. And so it's Thanksgiving week, so we kind of, as bad parents, looked at this weekend as like, well, it's the start of vacation, and what did we do on vacation when we were kids? We went to stay at Grandma and Grandpa's. So they stayed there Friday night. And
That's
then
great. Kids love it.
They do.
Everybody wins
And I'll
there.
tell you this, too. It's a miniature version of having a divorce and having your kids only every other weekend. Because I was locked the fuck in on Saturday. Like, let's do as much kid stuff. Like, I'll do anything you guys want all day.
Because you'll be without him.
Yeah. You want to ride bikes, go to the park, play soccer? Yeah, let's make an ice cream sundae at 10 a.m. I don't care. You're leaving tomorrow. So let's just get it all in.
Are they gone for the week?
No, no, but I'm just saying they stayed over there Friday night. They stayed over there last night. So all day, both days, it was let's party. We did a little hour-and-a-half trail hike. Saturday we went, and I told you guys that Sarah Heppola is writing an article about how I'm a drunk.
Yeah.
Ostensibly to inspire other people to not be anymore, and honestly, hopefully to promote our show. But what that comes with is you go take pictures with a photographer, but not like behind a screen. They just want to catch you naturally.
Okay.
So we were going to go to the park anyways, and a guy just met us out there.
You and the kids?
And the wife.
Okay. So she all getting ready in her hair?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little bit, but I was in sweatpants.
Oh, all right.
She wasn't really into it, like doing it at all. But if I just said, let's go to the park, it would have been fine. But once I said someone's going to be there to take pictures, it's, I guess we'll do this for you. Yeah, I got a big hole to dig out of.
She could have bailed out of it, but she's thinking.
Oh, no, I think it's the female urge to not bail out of it and then complain at every single step of the way.
I see.
Yeah.
That's saddest. That's an itch they have to scratch. Okay. But no, she was cool about it. We went to the Botanic Gardens there in Grapevine and did pictures. I witnessed something that I've always been a little bit curious about. And I know I do it. I know you don't do it. There were a lot of people there taking pictures. There might have even been a wedding that was about to take place that evening, and they're setting up, and there's a lot of people moving around, set this up, move this over here. And I saw a guy who was probably my age walk out of the little venue they have there. It's next to a parking lot. He started walking towards the parking lot and then kind of took off running. And then once he's about 10 feet from his car, started walking to get something out of his car. And I've always been interested by the decision to just run like that. Like, oh, I left something in my house, and you pull back up to your house, and you're like, I'm going to run in there.
Well, you do it if you're with someone to illustrate that I'm not just,
total time saved. Here. Like, even if you're Usain Bolt, 5 seconds.
Not even that, yeah.
Yeah, you never even really fully commit to the run. You kind of like move your arms and legs.
Right. You just want to show people that
you're in a hurry. But like this event is 3 hours.
Like I'll do that if somebody stops at I want to cross a street or something.
Yeah.
Hey, I really care.
I picked it up for you.
But
it has no effect on how much time you're not James Bond or. It's not Mission Impossible. You're going to pick up 2 more folding chairs from your car.
Yeah.
But you told your mother-in-law, like, I'll run out there.
Yeah.
And you
have to literally
unathletic man, takes that literally and does a little Benny Hill run out to your car. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? It'll be fine. So then last night I went to go see our friend Jimmy Nelson do comedy in Grapevine. It was at,
nice.
I think they're calling it Third Rail, or it's at Harvest Hall in Hotel Vin. It's a food hall and a big venue. It's a big place.
Pretty new.
It is pretty new.
5 years old or so?
Yeah. It's at the train station. It's really, really cool. So we went down there, and I had no idea how this was going to play out. I didn't know if most people that were there would be there for him. You could buy tickets for a table, which I did, or there's just a bar in there, so anybody could walk in.
So it's not like a club?
No, which is important
it's
to
not
know.
like the Addison Improv is a...
No, you could just walk in like it was a bar, but there was also reserved seating. So there were...
So a lot of people are there and don't even know there's a comedian?
I believe when they walked in, they were told. But they just decided, well, whatever. There's like a holiday-themed bar there, and there's like, I'm just going to sit here and drink. Which is interesting because Jimmy has some – it's like I've told whenever – there's still kids in here. So it's like I've told you guys when I went to go see Nick from, we'll just say, C-Town. There were a lot of people who had just wandered into that comedy club and were like, what am I doing in here? And Jimmy had a little bit of that last night.
Does he work pretty?
I mean, you know the hypotheticals.
The 90-10.
The 90-10. You know he's got jokes about doing fertility treatments.
Okay, the
and having
90-10, if
which portion of
you had to
beach?
service your buddy, you had to give him pleasure on your knees.
I don't think he added
didn't
that
specify,
part. You could
but-
be like laying down on your back with your
Well, the point is, I'm just trying to paint the picture so people understand
Me too.
what I'm saying. Would you rather do the first 90% or the last 10%?
Yeah.
It's quite a debate.
He broke that one out.
Yeah, it's a good one.
He also broke out a new
I'd
one.
be using the A stuff as well.
Yeah, he broke out a new one that he went to me for in the crowd, which I was not expecting. And it's a similar hypothetical, but you got to take care of 20 inches. How you breaking it down?
What? What do you mean?
You know exactly
What
what
do you
I
mean
mean.
breaking it down?
Well, I said, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get really fired up in pregame warm-ups. I'm listening to We Ready, We Ready, We Ready, We Ready. I'm going to go 7. Then I'm going to take a break. 3 is like OTAs, right? So I got a 7 and a 3, but now I know I can do the 7. I can push myself harder and go 9, and now I've left myself a little 1-inch treat at the end.
What are we talking about going 20 inches?
Yeah, you got to.
I don't know.
You have to service 20. How do you want to break that down?
I still don't really get it.
Oh,
You
people?
No,
don't
wiener.
service the last 7 inches.
You got to get in there. You got to get in there. I mean, a weaker man would just say like 4 times 5. Like I don't want anything challenging, but I'm a strategist and
Okay.
a gamer.
I'm still confused, Blake.
He gets it.
Do you get it?
Not really.
Well, everyone else did, including some people who
Wait,
got
are you
it.
saying there's like 120?
If you really want to just work your way down that thing like a piece of
Or is
corn
this,
on the cob,
or is
then
this like
yeah.
a buffet? I can pick whatever I want.
Didn't really specify, but there were people who did not, as people in here apparently, and the two of you did not find that line of thinking entertaining.
Okay.
Including, there was a table of ladies in front of me who they did not have a little placard on their table, so they were sitting in the reserve section, but they did not buy tickets. And
they read about, he's a local firefighter. Let's go support our fireman.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's trying his hand at stand-up comedy. This will
Never-
be cute.
They were never forgetting. And I could tell this because my wife wanted to eat while we were there, but I'd already eaten. So I went in there by myself and sat down. She didn't want to bring a huge thing of Thai food into a comedy situation. So when she came and sat down, I'd already been in there for like 20, 30 minutes meeting listeners, which was easily half the crowd.
How many drinks did you buy?
Nobody would take me up on it. 3.
Oh, come on.
You were offering to buy people drinks?
1 drink for every listener who asked. And Jimmy made sure to mention that again on stage.
Okay.
I bought 3 beers. So when
You
she
just wanted
came,
that feeling of buying a beer again?
well, I just left my tab open and told him. But yeah, it turns out that wasn't the fun part. My wife sat down, and I'm like, man, these 3 ladies in front of us here, they're kind of a fucking beating. And she did what she does, and she's like, why are you like this? She said, they're fine. They're just having a good time, I'm sure. The first word she said when we walked – God, man, there's a kid over there. And this is the first word that she said whenever we walked out of the comedy club. She's like, that lady was a cunt. I was like, I told you.
Okay, so
Can I
you're
get
just saying
validation and vindication on this?
at first she'll be against you
Of always.
and assume that somebody else is.
And she followed
You're the
that line
problem.
with, man, I hate women. I was like, look, I told you. Because
Most women do.
every single thing he said that was slightly off color, she just had this look around. Oh, my God. He used the word gay, and she's like, oh, I've never in my life. He did a slight Chinese accent. It's like, just get up and leave if you want.
Yeah.
He started doing some religion jokes like, hey, I grew up in the church. I went to Sunday school, and here's something I found kind of funny about that. They weren't having that to the point of going thumbs down.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he hit him with a thumbs down. And it's like, okay, lady, just go. Just leave. He also had to deal with a very loud, very drunk table that would not let him finish the show. He was clearly heading towards the end, setting up the last joke, the ender, and this lady was just yelling the whole time. The whole time. And finally he's like, you can leave, I'm going to finish this joke. Then he had to go over to him afterward and try to smooth it over, but that's a tough job. But he was great. It was full. It was packed, completely packed. There were tons of listeners there. It was a great time. He killed it.
Nice.
Yeah, he makes 45 minutes look effortless.
It is effortless.
That's Blake wants to go up and give it a try. We may offer him that opportunity.
I'm ready.
Oh, my God. You're such a fraud.
I love it.
You're such a fraud. But, yeah, just get up and leave a comedy show if you don't like it. We don't need your ostentatious thumbs down, bitch.
And then did you do flag football yesterday?
Oh, yeah, how'd we do?
I forgot to tell you guys about that. So
It's playoffs.
It was, and we were not the 1 seed because they lost 2 games while I was away. Coincidence? But they lost both those games like down a man. Not just had no subs. They were playing without 8 people. And the first team we played was one of those teams that beat them. They were very good, and we prevailed. Hard-fought game, we prevailed. But because we were the 2 seed, we had to play back-to-back games.
Uh-oh.
So like 5 minutes in between.
They didn't get it done, Dan.
Sounds
We
like an
didn't.
excuse being set up. Right
We
here.
lost. We lost in the final to the God Squad.
Oh,
Mercy roll?
Yeah.
That's your
And
biggest
didn't they-
rival.
Didn't they combine forces with somebody?
Yeah, and they've mostly shed the guys who would wear their Mercy Culture God Squad T-shirt and talk copious amounts of shit. So they're really kind of just a group of normal dudes now who are really athletic. They're hard to hate now. We had a very long pregame prayer. Very long. So long that I was happy because their quarterback was out of breath. He was fired up, and they'd had an hour off. So we went to overtime and lost. Very, very critical game management error. I'll try to run through this. The halves are 20 minutes long, right? But after 18 minutes have passed and there's 2 minutes left, they kill the clock because they don't want a college kid trying to stop and start it like they're an actual official.
Yeah.
So they just go to 7 plays, thinking that's about what 2 minutes would be. So no matter what happens, 7 plays are happening right at that point. You with me?
Yeah.
So
It was only the 20-inch hypothetical that threw us off.
Okay.
Right.
We
It's
understand.
20 inches of dick. I
We
thought everybody
understand-
understood what I meant.
we understand
trouble. Like, what do you do
football.
with the end of it to please that part?
It could be separate. So we had the ball tied 14-14. It was scoreless at half. Very rare in this league. And we're driving, and now we have play 1, 20 yards to score, first down. And on that play, our quarterback breaks free for a scramble, could score, steps out of bounds at the 1, with the thinking we don't want to score right here and leave them 6 plays to try to come back and tie the game, potentially go for 2 and win. He steps out of bounds on play 1. He takes a sack on play 2.
Oh, no.
Incomplete on play 3 and 4. So we're at the 1-yard line, and he could have gone in. And instead, they get the ball back. They don't score, but now we're in overtime. They get 4 plays to score. They do. We get 4. We
So
don't.
it was the old I don't want to leave too much time on the clock type thing.
Yeah, but again,
For
it was
Aaron Rodgers or
0-0
whoever.
at half.
Yeah.
And 14-14 at that point, I'm like,
Like you
are
should
we
have
sure
just
we
done.
want to do this? And that's how we lost.
But you don't get vocal like that.
No, I'm a team player. And I also, maybe this is a problem with not, like, being hungover or being like, I'm really fired up right now and I'm going to go get a beer after. I kind of didn't care. I was like, boy, I really got some exercise in today. Had fun with the boys. Everyone had a good time. That was it.
Who is this new Jake?
I know.
know.
Gay. That's all
Domesticated
it really
gay
is.
Jake.
Yeah.
But he knows how to attack 20.
Oh,
Yeah.
no doubt.
So you gonna hang it up?
No.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
You've already announced you're back for another year?
We're taking off the like December, January one. But I'm going to play.
You're back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I know every year we ask at the beginning of the year, and you never have an answer.
Not now. I'm in good shape. This is the time.
Sports Today is brought to us by Tecovas.
I was on the Tecovas website just the other day, tecovas.com, because, spoiler, if my stepdad hears this, I'm buying you a pair of boots
That's a
for
good
Christmas.
idea.
They're fantastic. These are the nicest, really coolest boots you're gonna buy. Great gift idea. You go to Tecovas, TECOVAS.com/dumbzone. You'll get 10% off.
It says here you can't have a good time in bad boots. Is that true?
I never have.
Okay. So you need Tecovas.
Yeah, so you're giving the gift of boots.
You're giving good times.
You're giving good times.
Yeah.
That's right. They also have cool shirts up there. Real Texas vibe to them. They got a style for everybody. Go check them out, Blake. You buying some gifts here? Do a little gift giving?
I just sent a text. Maybe father-in-law wants some new boots.
Do it at Tecovas. Like I said, it's 10% off at tecovas.com/dumbzone. Whatever your size, whatever your style, whatever you need. I promise you'll find what you're looking for with Tecovas and Tecovas boots. Well, that was weird yesterday. I don't really know how to describe what I watched. It was both horribly played, boring, and like I described it in my in my column this morning, it felt like a 9:30 Friday night college game.
Yeah.
Like where the teams are so bad and inexperienced
I thought
and
it felt like
disorganized.
a noon
That's true,
Sunday
too.
football game with the Fox 7 Team 7, and I was surprised that we at least got third leg Greg.
Yeah.
Because I think third leg Greg is good. Get over it. I was talking to Blake about this morning.
He's good.
No, yeah, he's better now.
I think when you get him away from Brohard, he's better. 'Cause
Yeah.
He's not trying to bro down. He's just actually like giving you football stuff.
I think he's good. I just think his problem is Tom Brady's already awesome.
So the
Who would've
Cowboys are 4-7 now. Giants Thursday in disarray. The 4-win Bengals the following Monday at home.
What are you doing?
Tough to just
He's playing in our playoff game stream.
follow along here. Now we're 6-7
Uh-huh.
at Carolina.
Covered.
How
Yeah.
easy is that? Now you're a 500 team with 3 to play. Tampa,
Have you looked at the standings? Like the rest of the teams? The NFC North
you're
has
at Philly. Who knows? They might have locked everything up by then.
doubtful.
And then Washington at home
Yeah.
to end the season. Could be for the playoffs. Let's take a look at the NFC playoff picture.
It's not favorable to Dallas.
So you're saying they could possibly win out?
I'm saying
You guys
they
are
win the
the
next 3,
the fucking
and then
worst.
let's take 2 of the next 3 after that. And what is your record? 10? That's 10 wins?
No, they would have to win out to get to 10 wins.
Okay, 9
Okay,
wins.
it's
9's pretty good.
Yeah, but look,
9 and 8? How many games
the
do they play?
Packers already have 8 wins, and they're third in the North.
Well, let's take a look at that NFC playoff picture. So when you look at
I can tell you what the New York Times athletic playoff predictor had it at this morning. Less than 1%.
You're saying there's
you
a
still follow the New York
chance.
Times?
It's the athletic. I don't. Yeah.
So
All right.
there are 7 teams now in the playoffs, don't forget. So you got your 4 division winners.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you get 3 from the North,
Okay, so there's 2 wild cards.
and you need 1 more wild card.
Yeah, correct.
Why not the Dallas Cowboys? I'd like to look at it faster.
well,
if
the
my internet would get faster.
Well,
What
the
are you on?
Commanders are 7-5.
And in a tailspin.
Yeah. I suppose you're right.
Like, what do you think they're saying today in Washington?
Fire Cliff.
Oh, my God.
They're fine.
Cliff and his annual second-half swoon. We talked about
Not
it at
ideal.
the beginning of the season.
What if it's not Kyler in Call of Duty? What if it's Cliff playing Call of Duty?
It's possible.
Because Kyler's actually been good since Call of Duty came out this year.
Fantastic.
Cliff has been bad. Cliff looked so Cliff.
In the
He
first,
looked about as Cliff Kingsbury as I've ever seen him looking yesterday.
Sexy as hell.
Yeah,
sunglasses.
the shaved side of the head and the sunglasses and just not a care in the world. Just loving life.
I'd still take him here.
Well, you might have that chance.
But yeah, I mean, these other teams.
All right, let's just say they do win 9 games or whatever. And they don't make the playoffs. Does that lock up McCarthy?
No.
You sure?
I might.
Because we've been lacking fight. And that's the kind of game Jerry wanted to see yesterday. At least show me that you can play NFL football and fight. Like even before the craziness at the end. Because look, they won by luck. They won because of the freak touchdown, kickoff return, and missed.
I disagree
point.
with that. They got lucky, but they also played better overall than Washington.
That's what I mean, though.
Oh,
That's what they wanted. They won by luck, but they were in that game.
Yeah.
They were just like,
yeah. They ran the ball well on first down, and that was a dominant defensive performance. Dominant.
really amazing.
That's what,
after you read, like, Zach Martin and Trayvon Diggs didn't even make the trip.
no, and you were also down Tyler Smith as of game time.
Tyler Smith was out. Of course, DeMarcus Lawrence and Dak are already on injury reserve or whatever they call it nowadays.
Bland came back, but that's game one. You have no clue what you're going to get out of him. He played a lot, but who knows?
I'm sorry. Did you say Zach Martin?
Yeah.
Okay.
He led with it.
Yeah, no, I'm just
I
saying
asked, sorry.
once you heard all
Just
that,
kidding, buddy.
you were definitely thinking that Washington likely covers,
Yeah.
let alone the Cowboys actually winning.
Yeah, but what happened was it looked remarkably similar to the games where Cooper Rush won in 2022, where they had a dominant defense and they could run the ball. And if you give him that, he's just okay. He's not Gardner Minshew. He's not Mariota or, hell, even good Flacco or Jameis, but he's fine. That's what they did. But they're not keeping McCarthy unless they're in the playoffs. Now, if they did go 9-8, get into the playoffs and win a game, uneffing fortunately, I could probably see it. But you're still moving on from Mike Zimmer, I would think. Well, hell, maybe not. I don't know. Up until this ridiculous scenario you've proposed, I have not considered a world where Mike McCarthy is the head coach next year. At all. They're a bad football team.
Well,
Here, I got a better one for you.
Micah said on his podcast they're a damn good
He
football team.
reiterated that yesterday. If Dak were healthy starting Thursday for the rest of the year, is there a single game that they would be favored in for the rest of the way that they're not already going to be favored in with Cooper Rush? The answer is no.
Yeah, no, they weren't good with Dak.
They were not good
That's
with
the thing.
Dak.
And that's probably tells you a little bit about how good Dak is and whether Dak is worthy of the highest paid player in the NFL, which he's not.
Cost of doing business.
Which is ridiculous, and it's a ridiculous way to do business, I think.
Second in MVP voting last year, had a contract coming up. You just got to do it. Now, what you don't have to do also is go acquire Trey Lance for a fourth-round pick. And again on Friday, Stephen Jones was asked about it, said, I don't regret it. We didn't know if we were going to sign Dak.
Boy, they're dying on that hill, aren't
Good
they?
God.
How did you not know we were going to re-sign Dak and then end up signing him to the biggest why not just do that
How
in
do
the
these
beginning?
people have so much money?
Do that in the beginning.
I could have figured that out. And I'm in debt.
Like, if at the end you were going to give the biggest contract ever, you could have done it at the beginning. I bet the biggest contract ever wasn't as big. As they,
Yeah.
when they did it.
But speaking of Trey Lance, the one thing they are right about, Cooper Rush does give them the best chance to win. There's no chance Trey Lance could have pulled that off yesterday. None.
I mean, based on anything we've seen, I would say that's true. But
The last time I
They
saw
also
him,
had a pretty basic game. You know, it wasn't like he was
Oh, he was efficient.
efficient. They didn't really try to air it out at all. When they did, it seems like good things kind of happened. You get like he underthrew a couple of deep balls.
yeah, and
Significantly, got really lucky.
that
Got
CD
the pass
Lamb
interference on the
crosser
one.
where Lamb, they highlighted it on the highlight where Lamb cut back across the field and like run in front of two defenders. That ball was going to be picked. I'm not saying Cooper Rush is great or even good as a backup. I just think Trey Lance probably
we got a little
belongs.
taste.
Trey Lance probably belongs with God Squad.
Got a taste.
Boy, he'd be so good, wouldn't he?
He'd be a very good flag football quarterback. Hey, the Olympics are only a couple years away.
But
Got a
all
little
right, let's talk
taste.
about the Trey Lance.
What a
package.
disaster.
What are they doing?
I don't know.
So it's 1st and goal at the 1. Let's bring in Trey Lance. I think what you do there is actually pass. Because what does everybody think they're doing? Exactly what they did.
Well,
They're going to do some kind of a read option or something with Trey Lance running, because that's what he can do, we think, effectively. Of course, he lost 3 yards on that play, and
Had
they
no
bring
shot.
Cooper Rush right back in.
and over here just waiting for his turn is the guy that I was told is an elite short yardage back.
Hunter Lipke?
No, Zeke, who had a 3rd and 1 carry yesterday where he was stuffed behind the line of scrimmage with 12 defenders on the field. Oh, no. Did they have 12 on that play? No, it was there was a defensive holding. There was a Washington penalty.
Offensive holding.
No, it was offense.
There you go. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Schoonmaker held, yeah.
They had a hold and he
So
got stuffed.
despite the fact
the
that
hold, that's what I was going
They
for.
held one of the defenders back and wasn't able to get to him. He still couldn't get.
That's right. Yeah.
It was less than a yard, dude. It was like a half a yard.
Yeah. One of his 3 carries on the day. What a disaster.
Yeah, why is he even on the roster?
He's got 10 carries in the last 4 games. So at least they're getting the message, but no, I don't know. They have no real explosiveness on offense even when they had Dak.
All right, so in the first half, or I should say first quarters, I'm writing notes, and let's see. Washington misses another field goal, and then the teams are 1 for 4 in field goals thus far.
Did we miss a couple? I didn't see that.
Well, should you give Brandon Aubrey a miss on a block?
We asked him about it, and the one from earlier this year he said was his fault. That one I don't feel like it was.
No.
Like, does Brian Anger get worse punt average if he gets a punt blocked?
That I don't know.
I was
But
hoping you'd say no.
that one,
No.
the blocked one was not his fault. The miss, I'm going to have a tough time alibiing for that one.
McCarthy had what's going on face. We've seen that so much this year. Like, you're the head coach. Why don't you know what's going on?
Yeah.
But I also did think Brandon Aubrey did hit one off the upright, and he's done that earlier this year, didn't he?
Yeah. You think that should count for half?
1 point.
1 point, okay.
Like, that's really hard to do.
Give it to him.
And maybe you should give him 5 points because it's impossible to do.
That would be an interesting rule change.
Were you watching Brandon on the field goal block? Like, did you rewind it 100 times just to see? Like, because
threw a little shoulder?
Brian Anger just got trucked.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no.
Aubrey got his licks in there.
Like, just in real time, I thought it was Aubrey. I was like, oh, no. He just got hammered. And no, but he got a little bump right at the end. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm a football player.
Yeah. I'm pissed.
And then during that first quarter, though, like, things are going nowhere. It's just the worst game you've ever seen. I'm selling all my Jaden Daniels stock. I'm writing the note, why not sign Daniel Jones for the minimum?
Because he wants to play for a playoff team.
Play?
Oh, okay. His agent says, he wants to. Oh, okay, I'm sure lots of playoff teams are going to be fired up to go add Daniel Jones.
Well, they will.
Why?
Because they want a backup quarterback
Who
if they're
is
already this
actual-
far along.
Yeah.
I saw the favorites are Baltimore and Minnesota. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
So, dude, I mean, he would immediately become the best backup in the league, which is funny because
Which is probably his future.
yeah,
But
Oh,
I
you
just
know
thought
what?
it would be cool against the Giants to have him and start against the Giants. That'd be awesome.
It would be very funny. The whole
And-
thing is very funny.
What if, we're a bubble playoff team. Like, okay, do you want to just go back up in Minnesota, or do you want to start here in Dallas for the next 7 games? Let's go.
What are you? What's gotten into you?
I'm just saying.
This is
Don't
so
you think that'd
weird.
be fun?
He's seeing
I
Belichick
guess.
float away with a win, and now he wants to grab onto something else, which is Daniel Jones.
Well, Belichick's probably going right to New York, dude.
Yeah.
They fired everybody yesterday.
And they'll.
Which we predicted in the summer.
Yeah.
In the summer. We said
Yeah.
these 2 guys will be gone, but let's trace it back to actually when they locked up Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Like, you knew it right then. You could have bought yourself a couple more years by not locking up Daniel Jones, probably keeping Barkley because he's a fan favorite, blah, blah, blah.
I don't know if this is actually true or not, and somebody better prepared would have done the research. But I believe it is the case that every time the Giants lose, including yesterday, Shador Sanders posts the phrase, God is great.
I saw that same thing about the Raiders.
Then it's probably fake.
Well, they all lose a lot.
Right.
And he probably posts that, like, every week.
I just know that, the talk of him ending up in Cleveland or Jacksonville, Deion's been very clear that he's not going somewhere he doesn't want to play.
I mean, last week was pretty heavy on the, Deion to Dallas talk out there.
That's not going to go away because they're going to fire McCarthy, and then it's going to be
They're just going to let his contract run out. They won't fire him.
I'm just gonna, okay. Sorry, I'm just going to tell you exactly what's going to happen from February to April. The entire sports news cycle will be dominated by Deion Sanders. Entire. Because his son is going to be the first quarterback taken, and he is going to be acting as his representative, like Archie Manning style. And his second son, above Shiloh and Deion Jr., Travis Hunter, is going to be the second or third player taken in the draft. And he's Deion. The whole draft cycle. And also, does he want an NFL job? How does that figure into this? It's going to be all prime all the time for a couple months. What humble beginnings at Prime Prep with Brett Shipp.
I know Cooper Rush. I know overall people are saying, hey, he played pretty well. But, man, I'm just looking at notes throughout the game. Got 2 of his screen passes blocked in 3 plays. And that's kind of what he throws. That's his main throw, is a screen pass. Seemed to have a read option where he picked up 5 yards.
And
Like, what the hell was that?
dude, that's
what you save for the goal line if you never do it.
Yeah. And you use this analogy a lot, but him riding the running back, pulling it, and then heading towards the edge is exactly what you say about your cat getting out. He was like, holy shit, where am I?
What do I do now? Like, there's no step 2 in the
I am
cat's
headed
plan.
to the line of scrimmage with the ball in my hand.
The
Like,
cat,
this is not.
the cat will sit for 8 hours a day near the back door. As you open it, and you kind of keep your foot there, and like, nah, I can't get out. But it's waiting. And then one day, it actually gets out. And then you just walk out to the porch and pick it up.
Yeah, it's like, I've never
It
been
doesn't
here.
have step
really have a
2 to
plan.
the plan, so it's not plan.
Didn't he slide?
Yes, then he slid.
He's like, oh, my God.
I'm in the open field. What do I do? Speaking of the open field,
Turpin.
do you hate seeing Turpin do this stuff? And you're like, yeah, the coaching staff has known about this guy all along. And I might have even heard our guys, Saad and KT and Machoda on their podcast mention, why have they always used him? They'll run him downfield and throw it 50 yards to him.
But he's 4 feet tall.
Yeah, but how about getting it to him like they did last week when you see something like that? Try to get it to him somewhere in open space.
Yeah, it feels very generic fan take, but it's one I agree with. He's the fastest guy in the league. You can't find a way to get him running across the field 3-4 times a game. What do you have to lose? I can tell you, you're not going to get much out of Jonathan Mingo.
Damn.
That guy.
They gave him 81 too.
Yeah, it's just.
Why
I don't
are you
see-
upset about that? It's just a cool number?
T.O. wore that. That's a cool wide receiver number.
Yes. Legendary Dallas Cowboy,
What?
Ring of Honor member T.O.
You made it look cool.
Put up some numbers.
The worst part about when they talk about Mingo is, I mean, he clearly is not good. And the worst part is not when they say, well, they gave up a 4th-round pick for him. It's when they're like, they were super high on this guy coming out of the draft. And he's like the worst receiver in the league in Carolina.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, well, maybe you should just learn from your mistake.
You don't have to evaluate just from 5.
Right.
He has a new evaluation.
Yeah.
And
not good.
Yeah, I'm just looking at, let's see. The Cooper, he had an interception called back for pass interference, but it was a horrible throw.
It was also a pretty blatant PI.
The 45-yard pass to Jalen Brooks was severely underthrown. Thought he kind of got lucky on that one. And then Tolbert, open at the goal line, Rush again underthrew him, but they got a pass interference there. Maybe it was about the 4-yard line. And I think the lesson that I noted was that you don't have to throw behind the line of scrimmage all the time. You can throw down the field,
possible.
And things can happen. But I suppose if you do that, it also increases the opportunity for a potential interception, which Cooper Rush wants to avoid. So they're very risk avoidance with Cooper Rush.
Yeah. Yeah, you might even say they've done that with Dak.
Yeah, probably.
A little bit, but he got the job done. Schoonmaker made a couple plays. Like, if you're grasping for stuff to look at for next year.
Ford.
Chrysler Span Ford. Yeah. Schoonmaker might be your tight end of the future. I don't know. Overshone played well again.
Trey Lance came in again and handed the ball off to CD.
They'll do that on you.
And that was all. That was all of the Trey Lance we saw. 2 Trey Lance plays. The package.
It's not much of a package.
What's going on here?
It's not much of a package.
What are we doing?
They don't know, so how are we supposed to know? They are what they are. I can't believe you're actually talking about I know you're mostly kidding, but you sound like you're Micah. Like, we're not done yet.
I mean, weirder things have happened. Look, I didn't think they'd win this game. And the fact that you're right, though. It's so many weird anomaly things happened.
Yeah.
This was kind of the game that I've been, when we picked them to cover against the Eagles or something, you're like, well, it's a division game and things happen and you never can tell. That's what this game felt like. You just don't know. It was a division game. Micah, I think we've had questions about what we think of his leadership. Like if you actually call him a team leader. I don't think we can. What did you think about the time? And really good job. Again, Greg Olsen, he's solid, man.
On the Daniels touchdown?
Yeah, it was the thing where Wanye Thomas didn't set the edge. They kind of showed that. And Jaden Daniels just ran it in. And Micah is pretty demonstrative, like showing the world, this isn't my fault. It's yours. And he was showing him up on the field a little bit. I didn't know if that's the place for that. I don't know if you even think that's it matters at all.
I guess you'd prefer it not, but I also just listened to Micah's full post game in the locker room. And
did he talk
maybe
about
I'm a sucker, but no. But it was he was very leaderish in that sense of, hey, we're going to keep fighting for the man next to us, and we finally played mostly good, but he was heavily focused on the fourth quarter and what they did give up. I think he's got it in him, but he's not there yet. They really don't have a defensive leader.
Was Wanye the one that, yeah, he got that onside kick and ran it in.
Bless, man.
So, obviously, the play is fall down. Then the game is over.
Yeah.
I get it.
Dude, it's your only
You're
job.
Wanye Thomas. You're a spare. It might be your only chance to score a touchdown in your NFL career. Probably is.
No, it is, but if you're going to get evaluated by your team or others on whether or not you have a brain in your head and we can trust you on Hans' team, then listen, I say this as a guy who I wasn't good for much. But throw me out there on that hands team, and I'll
fall down.
Fall down on the ball. I'm very good at
I will
falling
grab
down.
that ball and fall down.
That was bad, man. I almost at that point was like, I hope they lose.
So I get it on two fronts. I get it from his point of view, like I'm
you
a
get
spare.
a ball for your grandkid?
Right.
Yeah.
And I get it on the front of that's what the Dallas Cowboys are. They are individuals looking for individual accomplishments, and that's what he was worried about.
And highlights. No, yeah, individual. You're right.
And he got that ball, and he's going to go score. And then after the game, he'll say, hey, next time I absolutely will fall down. And he's not going to. Next time he gets one of those, he won't fall down. But a really smart play just to run up and grab it ahead of time. I mean, pretty lucky as well because it got a perfect little bounce for him. But
my last note, it's 1 year, but boy, I'm not real sold on Tyler Guyton right now as he doesn't know how to line up. They can say it's a point of emphasis. So the guy has had an awful year, and he got benched. And then Austin Richards got hurt, so they had to throw him back out there. You know, it's a bad year, so it's not getting talked about that much, but getting this out of your first-round pick is not encouraging. It can get better, but it's starting to feel real the offensive version of Taco Charlton right now.
Yeah.
Not good.
Just because your last year's pick.
Or several of them, you know?
Late round, first-round pick turned out really well. They assumed that could just happen again.
And, you know, that's part of drafting. Mm-hmm. You're going to miss. It's largely random. But if you look to the draft in the offseason, they have a lot of problems, and I'm not sure that isn't still one of them.
But it was a risky pick at the time.
Everybody said it.
Which, if you go with the chalk, it turns out to be wrong, then you're at least in the same boat with everyone else.
Right.
But people were trying to tell them that is not a first-round guard or tackle.
Thought they could beat the system.
They were saying that about Guyton?
Oh yeah, it was
that was an
huge
overdraft.
reach.
Because I know the Taco thing was criticized at the moment.
But people thought Tyler Smith was a reach. Remember, that's how he ended up going toe-to-toe with Bob, who said he would retire. And then, boy, a team PR group has never had a player on the phone so quick than the day after that first round. But, yeah, Guyton was definitely considered a reach. Tyler Guyton.
He didn't fix that.
I think that's unfixable.
We'll hear that in a moment. And then Austin Eckler getting knocked out on that kickoff return. What's the word on him right now?
He died.
He died? Mm-hmm. So they didn't revive him?
I don't know.
It's Austin Eckler Field now.
I thought it was kind of funny in the sense that things are funny. So Eckler gets hit, and immediately, like the guy that hit him or even people around him are like right away they knew, like he just fell limp. And Nick Vigil has the ball. He picked up the ball, and he's pleading with the ref. Like he's the only guy not caring about Austin Eckler. He's like,
but I
recovered this fumble. And it was really funny to watch.
Look, that's Mamba mentality.
Like them special teams guys. That's why they're individual stat. They need that.
That's true. Not a lot of chances.
My other note, and like I said, the game ended great, and it was so fun at the end. But it's certainly revisionist history on how good the game was and what a good job McCarthy. The announcers were trying to convince us that McCarthy was calling a good game. They said that. They're like, hey, he's calling a real good game, blah, 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 blah. And like the next sentence they said after the next play ran, all right, Cowboys are now 1 for 8 on third downs. I don't understand how all those things could have been true.
Boy, I was really confused by the last possession they had trying to run out the clock, where the first play was Rush kept it to make him run a timeout or burn a timeout. The second one, they ran play action, and then he just took the sack. Well, then why on the third one do you even hand the ball to Dowdle? Just knee the ball. Or just run around for a second and knee the ball. But Dowdle people fumble.
Yeah.
So it's like commit to one of the things.
Yeah.
which unsurprisingly, they
the play action was interesting because it did show they had a thought.
Yeah.
And at least he had the confidence in Cooper Rush to just eat it if you do not have something wide open. And so that was cool.
No, on the as we detailed earlier, on the player profile for Cooper Rush, oh my God, I need to fall down. 99. So when they called that second down
So
play,
much
he's like,
so that
I know what to do here.
on that one keeper, he just did it like in the middle of his run.
Yeah.
Well, the Cowboys
Tommy
win.
DeVito Thursday.
Do you think they're still sticking with him?
Oh, yeah, they're tanking. Yeah,
Okay.
they're tanking because otherwise they'd be playing Drew Lock.
Well, and then let's say the Cowboys, don't go on this miraculous run that I was detailing earlier. Are you upset then that they won?
No,
A meaningless win.
No, because they're bad, but they're not Jacksonville bad, and they're not Panthers bad, and I don't think they're Browns bad. Well, they may be Browns bad, but they're not going to take a quarterback, and they were probably not bad enough to be in the top 5. And 6 to 11, that's kind of not that different to me.
I've moved past that.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you expect these professional athletes that live and die by this to actively try to lose this game?
No, what they would
that's-
do is what the Giants are doing and play Lance instead of Rush, or not put Bland back out there. Or,
yeah, but if you're throwing Micah out there and all your guys, there's
still an argument about Lance just to
see what you got.
That you got rid of a 4th-round pick, and now you're just what are you going to do with Lance? Although,
well, what if he played well? What are you going to do with Lance?
None of it makes any sense.
That Trey Lance experiment died the day Dak signed his deal.
Yeah, he's not going to give you a hometown discount.
For what?
So the whole thing was they traded for him
to put
and then they
pressure.
But then they found out he has a significant bag. They're like, actually, San Francisco is right. Because Jerry must be getting that. At least McCarthy must be honestly telling him that. Like, he's got nothing. He's terrible. He sucks. We can't play him. And so they're like, okay, well, we lost that trade. We took a shot, and it was actually to replace Dak. That's what they wanted. Like, they wanted him to show just something. At least beat out Cooper Rush, and then you've shown that you're that good, and then who knows? Then we could actually put pressure on Dak in these contract talks. But Dak sees him every day, too. And it's like, yeah, don't worry about it. We're not signing yet.
Yeah.
But even if Dak was not signed right now, then yeah, Trey would be playing, and you'd be saying, could we win with this guy in the future?
But, you're right. McCarthy heard that from Jerry. Jerry's like, look, publicly, me and Steven are going to say this was no regrets, but we get it, bad idea. Hold up, though. I'm also going to go get a receiver that everyone in the league thinks is terrible and has given up on for another 4th-round pick in the middle of the season.
Amazing when
Hopefully
you look
can make that work.
what 4th-round picks are actually getting other teams.
Other teams?
Way better players.
Typically, yeah.
I think Trey Lance just looks small.
Okay.
Don't you? Like when he's out there, and I'm transitioning here to Jaden Daniels talk just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he also looks slight. I know he took the league by storm in the beginning of the year.
Got banged up,
and you'd have to it's the RG3 thing, right? Like his style of play to make him effective is also the same style of play that will probably get him injured year after year. Like, would you buy stock in Jaden Daniels right now?
Yeah. I think he's a better passer than RG3. I think he's a little bigger, but he can't run like he was in the first half of the season consistently. Do it like they did yesterday. There are guys who run.
Because he'll sail some balls on you, too. He's
a rookie, though.
Okay.
I would trade my entire roster, the owner, the GM, and the coach for theirs right now. Just like the next 5 years, which one do I want? I'll take theirs.
Okay.
Sorry, Micah.
Yeah, poor Micah. All right.
I feel like it's pizza time.
It is pizza time. We're at Cane Rosso. We're live streaming today. So actually, if you're tuning in and you want to come out to Carrollton, to Cane Rosso, and see us and eat some pizza. Otherwise, just go to Cane Rosso whenever you need some pizza. And there are many, many locations. Also, you might want to check out the Jay Jerrier episode of Business Wednesday on our website, which is dumbzone.com.
Learn business.
He's the he owns Cane Rosso. I should put that into context, not just this is just
guy.
out of no some guy. You should just happen to think of that as well. No, it was very interesting. So let us. We'll take a break. We'll eat some pizza. If you're watching on the live stream, we'll be a few minutes, and if you are listening in the car later, we'll be back in very very short order.
The Dumb Zone.
Me. That's what I do to make sure my voice is good. That's how I sound this great. This is Jay Jerrier from Cane Rosso. Everybody, let's hear it for Jay Jerrier.
Yay.
I forgot to mention earlier, Jay, and you have the... What do you got going on with the dog rescue thing here?
The puppet.
We started a dog rescue, I think, probably about 6 years ago, just as like a little, as we were getting more and more popular on social media, we tried to want to do something good, and we love dogs, and so we started a little rescue group where we started raising money, and that kind of snowballed to now we actually have our own rescue center, and it's here in Carrollton, just on the other side of the highway here. And so today we decided that we would bring over some of our adoptable dogs. So we're going to rotate dogs out on the patio today. We have Camila, and we actually have a dog named Dan out there right now.
Great name for a dog.
So they are.
He's got one named Danny.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we got a couple of dogs out there. Certainly our rescue. It's 501c3, so tax deductible. We survive on donations, and in fact, a portion of every single sale at every single one of our restaurants, whether it's Cane Rosso, Zoli's, Thunderbird, Cow Tipping, goes to support our rescue. So whenever you're eating here, you're helping dogs too. So, I mean, I have 6 rescue dogs of my own at home, so it's a little crazy. I would take one or two of those ones on the patio if I could, but my wife would for sure kill me.
Is 6 the most you've ever had?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, I think I've probably had 10 at one point, with 8 being mine and 2 being Foster's. But we have a bunch of older dogs now, so my wife is not letting me replenish just yet. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys coming out here, and we just want to get the word out that if you're looking for a fun dog for the holidays, even if you just want to take one for a couple of weeks just to get them out of our center, they would love it. So we're open to trial runs.
Cool. All right. Cane Rosso Rescue.
And then you don't really have to bring them back because you could just drop them off in the middle of the street somewhere. Someone else will.
Yeah, we'll pick them up again. Yeah, you can check us out at Cane Rosso Rescue on Instagram or CaneRossoRescue.org on the interwebs.
Good deal, man. Thanks for having us.
I appreciate you guys coming out. Thanks.
That's a good man.
That is
Jay
a good
Jerrier.
man.
All right. I had a Neapolitan pizza. Neapolitan, is that what you call it? Margarita pizza. What's a Neapolitan? That's the ice cream that's 3 different.
Neapolitan's.
Oh, it's wood-fired. Wood-fired ice cream. Yeah. Okay.
One time whenever I first started dating my wife.
Thanks, Jay.
I thought she was really into Neapolitan ice cream.
Yeah.
Because all I could remember was there was something she was really into that had multiple flavors mixed into it. And I got it wrong. It turns out she was into Neapolitan ice cream, and I bought sherbet, which was like
Idiot.
3 neons mixed together. And I was like, what's
Same
that deal?
kind of thing,
the
right?
Same concept,
Yeah.
right, where it's got 3 mixed together. And I showed up, and she was like, what is that? This is disgusting. And then we got married.
Yeah, how did you overcome that?
I don't know. I think you know.
Yeah, that 20-incher.
That vanilla ice cream you give her?
Jesus, Blake.
All right, game audio. It was the B team, the Fox B team. Joe Davis. Mm-hmm. Third leg Greg. Pilled up Pam Oliver. The start of the game, we go down to Pam.
Joe, Commanders head coach Dan Quinn is ready to turn it up, telling us he's ready to hit that gas pedal. Washington is calling it a reset after their mini bye and facing a reeling Dallas Cowboys team who feels like that could cure whatever ails them.
Again, she has dentures. She has fake teeth.
Veneers?
No, like you could pop them out.
Oh, okay.
And she was in a room before the game with someone else who has fake. She put in the wrong set of fake teeth. They're like too big, and she has to speak over them.
Yeah.
She grabbed
And
the
that
Mr.
is why
Edge
she
hair.
has to talk like that, Joe. So I just find that funny too. Like, Dan, I guess depending on how the game turns out, one of these is going to sound funny. That one sounds funny because Washington's ready to turn it up, and we're going to really hammer this lowly Cowboys, and then you see what happened. Because I thought this was funny as well at the start of the second half.
Joe, when we spoke to Mike McCarthy earlier, he was adamant, we're going to go in there and win this game. When I asked him at the half.
So that's what I thought was funny, just because.
Why hasn't he been adamant before?
Right. Why weren't you adamant 7 other times this year? Because they're now 4-7. You like this one, I think. This was the one note, and I suppose everybody's going to have this, on Brian Robinson,
right?
Robinson.
Is it Robinson?
Robinson.
Who am I thinking of?
The Texas defensive end.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, good friend of ours, Brian Robinson.
Yeah. So much so that you didn't know his name.
I call him BR.
But you did know the one thing that everybody else knows about him.
Brian Robinson has overcome so much in a short time in the NFL. Training camp of his rookie year, in an attempted robbery, he was shot twice. Had a bullet go through his hip, had a bullet go through his knee. It was a miracle. He was back on the field less than 2 months after that. But he's had to fight through so much and leaves the game under his own power, at least after the first play.
Yeah, first play, which didn't help my fantasy team. But
sorry.
So he actually comes back on the field, and they're going to throw it to Pam.
Let's check in with Pam.
Yeah, Joe, it is some great news for the Commanders. Brian Robinson, he limped back into the locker room a while ago. He got an X-ray. Apparently, it was negative. He had been ruled as questionable, but upgraded and in there.
Unsurprising, given the backstory that we told you on him. He's battled through so much, and we tell you, runs with the perspective of somebody who almost lost it all. Thought his career might be finished before it even got started. And fights through the pain of that early injury. He's got the ball and a first down here.
Look at him go, folks. Bullet wounds and all. I just thought it was, like, obviously commendable. Brian Robinson. He gets shot. He's back in uniform. He's coming out of the tunnel to mini-men. It was awesome. But to put that, like, on his grit scouting report of, like, man, this guy, he's not going to sit out with a little quad strain. You think that's going to stop him?
Ankle he's going to be right back in there. This guy had a bullet.
Yeah, it just seems ridiculous to me. Like, what if he tore his ACL? Would they be like, oh, maybe the shooting thing was a fluke? This guy's a huge pussy. It's like, no, I don't know. They're going to mention it. To tie it to whether he's hurt or not seems silly to me. That's Joe Davis. And yeah, Pam does sound like she's trying to eat her own mouth.
Jay-Z was there.
Oh, I saw that.
Let's come back from break here.
A couple legends of this series in attendance. Joe Gibbs, Doug Williams. Jay-Z's here today, too.
I just missed him on the field. I literally just got up to the booth, and he came out with his entourage of security shaking hands. I missed him. A little disappointed. He'd be like our Taylor Swift. Right. Showing him in the box. I just don't know if the teenage girls are going to be quite as excited.
We would be fired up.
I'm fired up. We grew up on him, but my daughter, much more interested in Taylor.
So you're saying it's the place to see and be seen?
I think he was going to approach Jay-Z and say, hey, I did a little rapping back in
myself.
My career. In fact, you influenced me to say, put it in her ear.
Yeah, I don't know that much about Michael Rubin, the guy who's at the heart of all this. Do you know who that is, Dan?
Producer?
That's Rick, but close.
Damn, that's pretty good, though, right?
Nah.
Yeah, he's trying.
I didn't say sandwich.
True. Michael Rubin is the CEO of Fanatics.
Thank you, Blake.
Took me a sec. Sorry.
Fanatics, who make like bad uniforms and bad fan gear.
Yeah.
And he's like a venture capital guy. Have you ever heard of the White Party?
No.
Not like the Klan.
No. The White Party.
Yeah, so you'll see this.
like Jay-Z wearing all white?
Yes.
Okay.
That is the White Party. And it's I think it's like in the Hamptons, I want to say, in the summer. Where is it? Yeah, I think it's in Louisville. Yeah, as I'm hearing right off the shores of Lake Louisville. But Micah is always there. And somehow Micah has like a Michael Rubin connection. It's probably through an endorsement deal. But do you remember when Micah was at a Philly or a Sixers game?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And had a Sixers jersey on, and people were giving him hell for that because like, oh, it's Philadelphia.
Yeah, he's been pictured in every team.
He was sitting with Michael Rubin then.
Okay.
And he I've heard him say like, oh, Rubin had me in his seats. So this was Michael Rubin, the rapper Corday, Jay-Z, Dez was there because Dez is always at the White Party.
Nice.
I'm really confused by Michael Rubin's existence. He kind of has like a Django, got Leonardo DiCaprio vibe to me. I don't know what's going on. And my buddy David Ruff is convinced that he's a CIA asset. He's just everywhere. They didn't mention him, Greg Olson, but that's who Jay-Z was there with.
Okay. So you mentioned like that makes this the place to see and be seen. They kind of alluded to that about the old stadium. This may exonerate Norm.
The RFK Stadium bill was passed by the Senate committee. It's a big hurdle cleared for the Commanders potentially to go back to D.C. where RFK, folks tell us that went to games there, was the place to be. The word from Pete Machado.
Yes!
Because that's exactly what Norm was saying to Pat Summerall. And you used to joke about that. When now
it is.
I think he's proven to be right. Like, if you could just play in D.C.,
yeah.
Who might we see?
Oh, my God. Is that Geraldine Ferraro?
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you, Rob.
Folks tell us that went to games there was the place to be. The word from Pete Machesk, our producer, is that this place was the bomb. That's a good thing.
I never heard him even say that before. Me and you both didn't know. Was he calling it a bomb, or was he saying it was the bomb?
The bomb, as in the greatest.
The greatest.
Which big hurdle cleared for Commanders maybe to get back to that area, back into D.C. Amazing.
They acted like that producer said skibbity.
Bomb. What's the bomb?
The bomb.
What is that?
If anything, it's so old that you would make fun of someone for saying it.
Right, but it's still pretty common.
Yeah, that was strange.
They did the graphic game a little bit.
Oh my God, is it Steny Hoyer?
So they had two graphics that I recall. One was the Cooper Rush graphic. They had like the Cooper Rush thing on the. Anyway, here it is.
Man, he's had a good day. I think we could kind of tie it back to his roots. Growing up in Michigan, I'm actually two guys down from me on the other side of Joe. Your dad was his PE teacher from the same area. What were you, 6 years older?
Yeah.
And you asked Cooper Rush, who taught him the game of football?
Music is
and
for
the
Cooper
Davis
Rush.
family, the two Davis boys. They're two of the top guys that he mentions. He said he grew up wanting to be like Joe Davis, and here he is playing quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys.
What would you put, like the Carpenters or
Bee Gees?
Yeah, no.
My Venmo is
Here's Lamb.
They couldn't get the rights to the sound of paint drying. So they went with that.
But the point of that graphic was that they both grew up next to each other.
They're in the same town.
I disagree with you guys on this. I think that was fine. And I'm going to say Olsen executed it fine because he kept it kind of straight the whole time. That was fine.
No, the
They're from
point
the
of the
same
graphic
place.
was these two humans were born around the same area. That's not a good
If
graphic.
it's a small area, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm more weirded out by Daddy's boy Joe Davis having to have his old man as his spotter.
Yeah, he's in the booth with him.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You proud of me, Dad?
Go give him a kiss?
It feels like that's a big nepotism
Olsen
area.
uses his brother.
I was going to say.
Who's got a K-spin of his own.
Greg Olsen's brother?
Yeah, he didn't just rap about it.
And then they had a Cowboys running back graphic.
What did he do?
But they had a roulette wheel.
Yeah.
And it was all okay, but then that leads, I thought, into a bad sports point.
You're talking about the running game being non-existent
For some reason, for some reason they got to spin it, and you hear the ball, and it's like, why?
I don't know.
What does that mean? What does this relate to anything? Like,
because they're playing in Vegas, right?
Oh wait, we're not. No, we're in Jacksonville, Pat.
Being non-existent for a lot of this year, so they let Tony Pollard go to Tennessee, and so we're going to do this by committee. We're going to piece it together, and they've had stretches where Rico Dowdle's taken over, like you said, more recently, leaning on him as the featured guy a little bit more, showing some signs of life, but overall, second worst in the NFL. Only the Raiders have run for fewer yards than Dallas has. They only have one 20-yard run, and it came from Dak Prescott.
And the name everyone throws around, every Cowboy fan throws around, is Derrick Henry became available. But listen, when you're paying your quarterback $60 and they got to pay Micah Parsons, assuming they pay him in a year or so, $40, there's only so much money to go around that you can't pay for your running back.
Oh, did Jerry just talk to you, or did you, like, what are you talking about? Oh, I mean, how could, if you got to pay your quarterback top of the market, there's no way you could sign Derrick Henry. I mean, you got to have a really low-paid quarterback,
right?
Like I don't know, the Ravens.
Right, rookie contract, Lamar Jackson.
Or maybe if you were going to sign Saquon Barkley, you need a real, again, they have another low-paid.
Undrafted free agent rookie Jalen Hurts.
And no receivers you've ever heard of, or,
No.
The point is, they could have easily added him, but they're behind the rest of the NFL all the time. And they just caught up to the fact, like after giving Dak the extension, that the running back is not as important as they thought. It doesn't mean it's not important at all. Like, you have to have a center. You don't want to not, right? You might not want to have to just pay the most in the league for your center, but you have to have one that's kind of good. As we saw a couple of those snaps sail over Cooper Rush's head.
Not a funnier guy I've ever seen try to get a hold of an errant snap. Just the panic in his face. I live for it.
Here is... Oh, okay. We found this, that Greg Olson, despite the fact that we like him, good announcer, can't pronounce his T's.
Nope.
And there's really one name that really trips him up.
It'll be close. Leans forward to get enough, but there's a flag in the backfield.
I think they're going to get Tyler Guyton, the left tackle. Go back to that third down penalty on Tyler Guyton. Tyler Guyton came back on as the left tackle for the past few plays, and Awesome Richards back in at left tackle after that last false start by Tyler Guyton.
I don't understand it.
Guyton.
Now he's got Martin and Guyton.
That's right. We didn't hear a lot of Martin because he wasn't there. And I think the only last one I have here is really the anchor word.
Yeah. This jumped out at me and only me. This is probably already on our list, but go ahead.
So Dallas defense, much maligned, 35 points per game during the 5-game losing streak.
It's a little bit of an opposite. You're saying the word much is always going to be in front of maligned.
Yes. I don't know if that counts or not, but I mean, when's the last time your boss was like, your work, a little maligned?
Just slightly maligned?
Slightly a little bit maligned.
Okay. Not much.
No, it's always much maligned. And I almost always only hear it when it comes to football.
Yeah.
Like, man, this is an economic plan, much maligned.
Yeah, no, it seems like that would fit.
Offense and defense, much maligned. But, who do we have Thursday? What's the crew Thursday? Are we getting...
Probably
Brady?
TB, right?
Yeah.
Okay. God, it absolutely rules that Tom Brady has to call Cooper Rush v. Tommy DeVito in front of the entire country. That's fantastic. Yep, that's your $40 million a year, Fox.
I guess if you want Cooper Rush to look good, have him go up against Tommy DeVito. But you might not want to sleep on Tommy DeVito.
Are you sure about that?
I'm not sure about that at all.
He's having a tough day yesterday.
All right, I'd like to transition now and
you
have
can
a
do
little.
That. You got about 2 more months.
Oh. Have a little Clemson talk. I was away at Clemson. Do we have time for Clemson talk today?
Yeah, why
You're
not?
in charge.
Okay. I'm not in charge. If
We
anything.
do need to do this, though.
Brought to us by Frankel.
That's right. Frankel and Frankel, personal injury.
Oh, I thought it was just brought to us by Frankel. You're saying Frankel and Frankel.
Yeah, no, I called the other one.
I thought
Okay.
there were 3 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Gene Burkett was there too.
Okay.
But a humble man who doesn't have his name in the sign. No, I called him. I called him at 817. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
But you could use 214-333-3333. And I didn't talk to the janitor. I didn't talk to their Blake. I talked to a partner. The partners have 100 years combined experience. They know how to take care of you. So, if you're on your way home and you just had 2 Cane Rosso pizzas, you're not like, paying great attention. Somebody wrecks into you. Make sure you're okay. And then no matter how messed up your hand is, you'll probably be able to dial 214-817 and then all 3s, where you will talk to the Frankels or Gene Burkett, and they'll take care of you. They get you what you deserve. It's the Frankels.
Hey, Claire, did you just get rear-ended by that truck and it wasn't your
I
fault?
always forget
I did.
about these.
Cornelius Falcon, what should I do?
Pick up your phone and start pressing 3s, you ungrateful monster.
All right. So let's talk Clemson. Let's see. Do I have my notes? Do I got to look at my phone?
Oh, yeah.
What? Oh, time?
Yeah.
What?
No, I just wanted to look.
Are we running late?
No.
No, we're like 1:35.
We good.
Okay. So, went to Clemson to visit my daughter, my oldest daughter. Actually works for the team, or interns for the team. And so, it was senior night, senior day, and before the game, we got to go out on the field with her and the rest of the staff. All the senior football players certainly lined up as well, but we were like the first ones introduced. She's part of the nutrition staff. Again, she does mix up some protein shakes for the boys. And I don't know what you'd want to say there about that at all.
I got nothing.
But just remember, they're not making them for her. She's making them. So, so remember, I had another evil plan, and I want to pay off on that at least because 690 Scene was asking me earlier. Did my key trick work? It did work. So last week I had mailed. My other daughter is in college in New York, and she was going to fly home while I was in Clemson. And so I mailed her the backup key to our car. I parked in whatever, C, level A, and I took a picture of where we parked. I sent it to her. I had mailed her the key last week, so we only had to pay for 1 day of parking. She got to fly in, pick up the car, come home, and then she was right there to pick us up when we landed. It was beautiful. It worked perfectly.
Well
It was
executed.
Great. My wife is, how would you say, how do you politely say, like, a real nag? She
Politely, though.
She wants to leave like 4 hours. We live, you know where we live, 15 minutes from the airport at most. She wants to leave like way, way early. And so as we're getting there, like I wouldn't leave early. She's kind of, I could tell she's silently rooting for us to miss the flight because I had lollygagged our way into not leaving 3 hours early or whatever. So as we're going up and down the rows looking for a parking spot, she's like, I'm like, look, it's an hour and 45 minutes away still. We don't have any checked luggage. We're going to get right on. It's Thanksgiving weekend. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, it doesn't matter. The TSA pre is going to be, anyway.
Yeah,
we made the flight in plenty. We were there.
Of course you were.
Yes.
And you probably weren't condescending when you made it.
Now you get to the gate and you're like, are you okay? You may not remember this, but we were talking on Friday as you were heading out. And you were still at your house. And we'd been talking for like 15 minutes. And I heard hon, we really got to go.
Oh, you heard her, yeah.
Yeah, in the background. I was like,
I'm like,
this
all
is
right.
great.
Yeah.
I'm like, isn't this flight 4 hours from now?
Yeah, it was a long time. we got to fix the airplane boarding process.
Yeah.
And under my guidance and my administration, we will do this.
Mm-hmm.
If you vote for me. Number one, board from back to front.
Yes.
For sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
What world are you living in where you think that you should board the first class first and then now we're waiting? And even me, I'm in seat 15 or whatever, row 15, and now people are kind of waiting because I'm putting the luggage up, so this whole row is waiting behind me. But you would say, yeah, but Dan, you would say, but we can't let all the poor people get on first and get all their luggage up in the overhead bin before all the richer people, progressively richer as you get to business class and then whatever. Okay, how about this? Don't charge for checked luggage. Only charge if you bring your luggage onto the plane, because no one wants to check their luggage anymore, because you don't want to have to wait for your luggage. So don't charge for that. Only charge if you are bringing your luggage on the plane. Then those poor people in the back, they're not going to bring luggage onto the plane to put up in the overhead bin. There's going to be plenty of room in the overhead bin because you will have paid for it.
I don't hate it. Yeah, I mean, it makes it worse for the people with less resources. Keep them down. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to do.
The way that it's set up that way in my mind has always been, so the people who pay for first class or their companies, they don't want to wait around outside the gate. They want to get to those hot nuts and that champagne as quick as they can. But also, they want the show and the parade of having to walk your broke ass past them. They like sitting up there and seeing you, with your $5 neck pillow that doesn't even
Aren't you
work.
always wondering what is that? How are they there?
Yeah.
What do they do?
Every time.
Yeah.
Every single time. Like, my wife is about to fly first class to China.
Oh, what? Nice. Does she get one of those seats that?
Yeah.
The whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah. The company pays. I mean, it's business class, but that's all there is on like that sort of international flight. And I'm just like, that would be better to me than any trip. Just be on the plane for that long in first class. I would occasionally walk up to the curtain to look back there and be like, you guys are still poor. And then I would come back and get more nuts.
Right.
Yeah, but that's why it's that.
The warm nuts.
Oh, my God.
You ever sit in first class?
One time on our honeymoon, good P1. We used to call him P1N, but then I think he got woke, and now he wants to be called P1 Nick.
Yeah.
Or DZ Nick. Our resident physicist, he has so many miles that he just gifted me an upgrade to Hawaii.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
Oh, my God.
The hot towel.
Oh, my God.
The hot towel, wipe off your hands before you, have a drink. It's like, yeah. I wish we could normalize that at my house. I would like a hot towel before I eat in front of the TV.
I bet you that you can get something like that in your bathroom pretty easily. Like a box that has like moisture. Someone in here probably has information for you. You can build like a sauna at your house.
A moisture box, eh?
Yeah, all right. kind of like a pussy.
Whoa! That's not what I was thinking of at all. Can I give you one more wife note?
Please.
I think Blake and I are both loving this. So,
just because, I mean, I've talked to you about this before, Blake. So when I talk to your kid, and I used to do this with my kids, I kind of just talk to them like a human.
Yeah.
They are human. Yeah.
Well, no, but I think most people,
like they're an adult, not a baby, or
most
a kid,
people will
not a
talk
baby.
to a 2-year-old like a puppy.
Yeah, I can't stand that.
Oh, Brooks, you have a coloring book.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And you have your own iPad.
Yeah.
Oh my, And same thing when you get home and you see,
the dog.
Bodie.
Did you eat your treat?
Yeah, you did a good boy, whatever.
Yeah, I just walk in. I'm like, Carter, what's up, my dude?
So I've
nothing
noted.
matters.
Oh, Julie Dobbs joining us now in the middle of my wife's story.
Hi.
So I've noticed.
She heard someone defaming women.
So
emerged.
I flew in with my cape.
Yeah, she saw the ovary signal in the sky.
When we landed in Clemson, we stopped at a grocery store first because she wanted to go get some Bud Light Lime.
Okay.
What is this Bud Light Lime kick she's
We are on the road.
And I wanted to get my yogurt because we had a studio apartment
Airbnb
thing, whatever. So we had to stock up a little bit. That's how she talked to the girl with Down syndrome bagging our groceries. Thank you.
Oh, no, she didn't.
No.
When she gave it wasn't just a thanks.
Yeah.
So I
Look
just
at
thought
you, little
You
champion.
are capable.
So I just thought puppies, babies, and
Downies.
Downies.
You said
Yeah.
it quietly, but we all still heard you. There's a microphone.
Well, he was hoping Jake wouldn't yell it back at him. I think
I didn't want them to hear.
That's a tough one.
Oh.
That's a tough one. People do that. It's like speaking slower to someone who speaks absolutely none of your language. Like they're not going to get it.
Right, louder.
Yeah, louder. Yeah.
Slower. Okay, so now we are going to the game. They're going to play the Citadel. What's the Citadel?
I don't know. It's very confusing to me.
Okay.
How do you play the something?
Well, their name is the Citadel.
Yeah.
That's the team
I know.
that Clemson is going to play.
Uh-huh.
And Ava, part of the bit for Senior Day is she got to run down the hill with the team. She got to ride on a bus.
Heck yeah.
You've seen this on ESPN, right?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
The players will arrive on a bus in front
full
of the
uniform.
stadium. Then they touch Howard's Rock.
Police escort.
They get a police escort, and then they run down the hill. So she got to do that after we got introduced on the field. And watching the player introductions, I thought was interesting. First, they introduced the special teams players, and the holder is senior Clay Sweeney.
Okay.
So Dabo's kid, for
Interesting.
4 years apparently, has been the holder.
Wow.
So as far as nepotism is concerned, can't make you the long snapper. We can make you the holder.
Got to find him something, right?
They list him as a wide receiver, too. That's funny.
I'd be very interested to know if he, has done anything else, or is there a fake in the playbook, or is it just you're holding and that is it?
This is funny. Walk on in 2022 continued in the lineage of Sweeney family holders on place kicker, inheriting the role from his brothers Will
No.
and Drew. The last place kick held by a non-Sweeney was the final extra point of Clemson's national championship victory against Alabama to end the 2016 season. So we are on year 8 of the Sweeney's hold Moles.
Awesome. R.J. Mickens was a South Lake Carroll superstar and was recruited, a big-time recruit. I remember him at the games that my daughter was, playing in the band at halftime because on offense they would just kind of throw it up and he would just go grab it.
Quinn?
I don't know if Quinn played with him or not. Probably, right?
At least,
know.
that's a good question.
Might have crossed over a little bit. Anyway, he's now a fifth-year senior there. So I don't know if he's headed to the league or not. Usually, if you're really good, you get out before you become a senior. And because of COVID, I think he got an extra year. So they announce, their majors and all that when they run down the hill for Senior Day. Masters in Athletic Leadership.
Okay.
Does that mean he's going to go into coaching?
Coaching or, like admin.
My wife was pretty impressed just because it said Masters.
It ain't that hard.
Okay, because I'm pretty impressed by your Masters as well.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it.
I'm no Jill Biden, but.
So the guy, and I wonder if this is on every team. So they introduce all the players, numerically, seniors. So they get to number 69. Obviously he's big because that's a lineman number. But he's doing so many bits, like you got to know the guy wearing number 69 is probably a bit guy because he asked for number 69.
They're almost always a white guy.
Absolutely a white guy. It looks like his name might be Meat.
Yeah. Yeah.
probably could drink just drinks out of the keg.
Yes,
you know?
correct. Yeah, he taps it with his hands. Yeah,
and he's
every team got a funny haircut. That
he was
changes
the
a
only
lot.
guy that was trying to implore the crowd to start, cheering when he got up there because it's still we're 45 minutes before the game when all this is going on.
Love that guy.
And then he leaned down and kissed Howard's rock because no one else was doing that. There's some rub it and everything, but
He's
he had to
doing
kiss
the
it.
Hulk Hogan call for
and
the
then
crowd.
yes, as he ran down, it was awesome. They did a flyover, so it was Military Appreciation Day too.
Yeah,
As you kick the shit out of a military academy.
That's what I'm wondering. Is the Citadel a military academy? I think it is.
You couldn't find out if ISIS had a football team or something.
The Citadel was getting 49.5 points. If you want to know if they predicted this to be a big blowout. I think they did not. I think they covered.
Okay.
But if halftime was like 34-0 at half. Clemson had 338 yards, but of course then you have to see, can their starters beat our third stringers? And apparently
that's when the seniors really get in.
That's when that's when Clay Sweeney might actually catch a pass, I suppose. But so they have the flyover, and then the whole stadium is chanting USA, and it was awesome. Like, I got caught up in it as well.
Sure.
I wanted to go bomb somebody.
Did you
I
get
didn't.
goosies?
Yeah. And I'm not big, rah-rah, patriotic guy, but when you're there, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, World War, some wars start to make a lot more sense in that moment. We'll just put it like that. I don't know.
But yeah, the whole just going nuts. USA, USA. It's like, yeah, hell yeah, USA. Fuck yeah. Now the Citadel. Again, I don't know what military branch we're talking about here.
I don't think it's just a military school.
Okay.
Unaffiliated. There you go.
Well, I, at my current person that I am, was in better shape than at least 5 players I saw warming up on the field.
No.
Like short, dumpy, like it just all kinds of.
Those might have been drone guys.
All right. Well, they were dressed. They had
joysticks.
They had their uniforms on. They had like football pads and everything. I'm just saying. And maybe you've been involved in this going to Richland High. Like you ever play a team where you're like the other team looked like adults. Like Clemson looked like a pro team, and then there's this little team, and you're like, this shouldn't even happen. They should not play this game. This isn't right.
Yeah, it's like every game I ever played in. But
Okay.
So I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, kind of like when Mighty Ducks' Team USA had to play Iceland.
So we're sitting next to this. We're sitting next to the Citadel family section.
Oh no!
And man, they're all just taking a beating. They're like failed smile. Like the one good play they had before I left at halftime. The one good play they had was a 60-yard run, and the running back broke free, and he is 10 yards ahead of everyone else.
For 1 second.
And he gets chased down by the 5-yard line, and he gets chased down, and the defensive back that chased him down just pulled the ball out of his hand and started going the other way.
Oh.
It was so sad. Like,
that's tough.
And the little cheering section was like, it was like their whole one moment was just that 60-yard run where he didn't even get to the end zone, and he didn't even maintain possession of the ball because he was just this little guy.
Yeah, it's underreported. I certainly witnessed this a lot with my brother. A lot of people, dads in particular, I think, are like, man, it'd be cool if my kid ended up playing, competitive sports in college. And there are some things about it that are very cool. But there's a pretty good likelihood your son's team, your daughter's team, they're going to suck. And you're going to have to go watch people who might be able to do this for money beat the brakes off of them. And at some point it becomes not as fun.
Yeah.
You're all there as parents. Then you start fighting with each other. Your kid sucks worse than mine does. It's not good.
I've learned that cheerleaders, even in the SEC now, are woke.
What?
I mean, sweatsuits.
I guess I mean fat.
Oh, this is the worst take you have. Women with some shape on them, and you're over here calling.
But all the dudes were hot.
What?
Once again, tougher to be a dude in this day and age.
Dude, you don't look like that as a woman just by eating.
The dude
They look like
cheerleaders
that
were
by-
hot.
I'm telling you, man.
They were cut.
Women are squatting like Rashawn Slater weight now. Like it's
all right. I'm just stating this from my point of view.
So the cheerleaders were.
no. Listen, he thinks
Large?
that cultures trend towards like glute workouts and lifting weight, like not being cocaine 80s thin. Means that we are now valuing being quote fat, as he says.
Again, back
So
in
a
my day,
a fit woman is fat.
Yes, to him.
Okay.
back in my
Interesting.
day, we had anorexia
That's what
and bulimia. Those were the things of the day.
That's more his speed.
And that's the way we liked it.
And those girls could really flip in the air.
That's right. You could throw her up so easily.
Make a good flyer.
Okay, so they were recognizing retired military leaders. Every break, or every commercial break, or whatever, it's about the military, you know? And they're recognizing the retired military leaders. There's many, like, generals and whatnot, and they're all standing in a row on the side at this one point. And they're wearing either actual uniform or fatigues or something like that. But they pan across and they introduce each one to the crowd, and we cheer for each one. But flanking them, also wearing fatigues,
No.
are of course the guy in the tiger costume wearing number 1.
Yep.
But then at the end, it was a shorter tiger. He's the cub wearing number 1/2.
Oh.
And they're right there with. Like the military guys, you know, saluting, and
Guys
then
collected 20 skulls.
and then you've got the guy in the tiger costume.
Dude, I mean, obviously, it makes me think of my nights at Seats for Soldiers, when there's a row of guys who are all missing a limb, you know, from active combat, you know, sustaining casualties, and then here comes Champ, a cartoon horse, saluting the American flag while Lee Greenwood plays. It's like, what are we doing?
And then Mavs man does a front flip dunk.
Yeah. It's you're not far off.
And I thought Military Appreciation Day has to be so huge for recruiting.
Because
At
it
a
looks
college
badass.
game, it looked badass. I'm chanting USA along with everyone. They had from the stadium, there's like an open field where, I don't know, they do stuff and grow grass. But before the game, they had this huge helicopter. A helicopter that could hold 4 other helicopters. One of those big, giant transport helicopters or whatever. And kids were going and getting their picture taken on it and stuff. And, I mean, you could just see how awesome. It all seemed like I wanted to sign up. I wanted to join the Army or whatever.
Propaganda rocks.
Yeah, it was great. And then you're at a game and they're just going to honor me. This is great. People will just cheer for me and do whatever. And like they didn't really have the guy with the no legs up there.
Or like a guy who can't look at a firework without having a seizure.
Right.
It's more chill.
I
only said my brother really makes fun of that stuff. That's why I feel, hey, I got a black friend. That's kind of the mode.
That's right. You have a Marine brother.
Yeah,
He makes fun of it all.
Oh,
all the
yeah.
pomp and circumstance.
Oh, most of them do. Most people who are in the military definitely make fun of that.
A couple other quick notes. They really, on the scoreboard, before the game, during the game, a lot, they highlight the president of the university, but it's never just this guy. It's the president and first lady want you to. And so, like, before the game, the first lady's doing all the talking on the video board. Like, hey, Tigers, we went. And she's wearing, like, a tiger dress. And
I've never heard of that ever.
Like, I didn't know there was such a thing as a first lady of a college.
No, like, do they say that about, like, J.P. Morgan?
Yeah.
Like, the guy or whoever's president, that their wife is the first lady of
But during quite a few of the breaks during the game as well. The president and first lady would like to.
That's ridiculous.
You know, they honored the like professor of the game, the staff member of the game, the student of the game. But
That's ridiculous.
But the first lady
First
was
lady.
the one who read their names.
However, it does open up the interesting possibility.
What does she do?
That you could somehow, as a man, be the biggest cuck of all time and be the first gentleman of a university.
That's right. I wonder if they have that. On a college campus, you might already know this, but maybe it was also because it was Military Day, but so that doubled it up. But the mustache was the biggest player, huge.
Yeah.
And it's not ironic,
No.
but I kind of like it. It's kind of awesome.
Yeah,
the mustache has come back. I used to always make fun of the mustache era.
Yeah.
Like the 70s was how stupid was that? And now it's like, we're here again.
No, there was a moment last night when we were watching Jimmy's show. I'm like, damn, I wish I could try that. But now it would just look like I did it because he did.
Yeah, Jimmy has a sweet mustache, man.
Very.
Like he pulls it off. It doesn't look like he's doing a bit.
It's powerful.
But he's a fireman too, so I bet
Yeah,
that's
based on the crowd of his friends there last night, they all have it. Which his joke was that they do that so that it's harder to pin one of them down in a complaint. Like somebody's like, I don't know, it was a big white guy with a mustache.
And then TV notes. So once I left the game, had to go home and turn it on. Beat traffic, of course. I mean, traffic in a small town, a college game you would never get out of there. And guess who was announcing the game? So guess who was in the building that I was at? Thom.
Oh, wow.
Thom is making his way back up. We've worked our way back up to Clemson football. Now, it was just the Citadel.
Still.
You're not getting
What network? Is it ESPN?
I don't know.
No, it can't be.
It's like the
CW,
WB
that's
or
right.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I remember when he called the Castellanos game opening weekend.
And as we're leaving at halftime, my wife got a text from her friend that said, "Are you guys in the in the lower bowl? Because apparently we made TV."
Where's the image?
So I'm going to have to go find it. I didn't remember until just right now that she got a text that we
That's
made
huge. That's huge for all of us.
Well, then we're gonna implore people to go out and find it for us, so I don't have to do
Tough
it.
task.
He's not asking you to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but anybody, a college football game that's already happened, we got to go watch it frame by frame and find you. All right.
He was probably the guy. You'll see him.
You know it's in the first half.
He's wearing a neon yellow beanie with his Clemson jacket.
No, in fact,
Holding a tiny phone.
I bought new shoes.
Oh, we
just for the,
shamed him.
yeah.
We did it. Yeah.
What'd you get?
Yeah.
Wow. With some black and white Nikes.
There you
Round
go.
of applause for Dan's shoes.
Nice. You look
Yeah.
good.
He does.
You're all color coded?
Yeah, that's what you wear with any other color. It'll work. You see what you got there?
The night before the game. I bought
Also,
it.
they're not the exact same shoes, but they're very similar to the Heaven's Gate Nikes.
Oh, yeah?
If you recall that every member of that cult was wearing those almost exact shoes. That's so much better, dude. My day just improved by not looking down and seeing your Sherbert vomit shoe. Yes. All right. Well, good times.
Good times indeed. Today's news will be brought to us by Fair Lease. Let me
Fair
look up
Lease.
my antonyms.
Okay, fairlease.org. Check them out. As we were telling you earlier, this is the way to lease a vehicle if that's your thing, and they have leasing options from 10,000 to 30,000 miles a year, 36 to 60-month terms, and you can do this all pretty much from the comfort of your home. You don't have to go spend a whole day at a dealership. Don't waste your time off or your weekends doing that. Just go to fairlease.org, Blake.
I tried to trade in a car a few months ago, and it was such a beating driving it up there. But Fair Lease, you can do it over the phone. You can buy or lease your car over the phone. Do it all on your phone.
That's right. Even sign your documents all right there at the comfort of your home, which is interesting. You might have a very uncomfortable home, but they're not really responsible.
When you
for that.
sign your lease, it gets more comfortable,
Okay.
actually. Makes your home more comfortable.
Fairlease.org. They're big listeners
Lease
to
a
the
good
show.
car, and you can live in it.
Way better than biased lease.
There we go.
Yeah. No, I see there on your list unlawful lease.
No.
Not that. It's Fair Lease at fairlease.org.
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone News.
All right, let's get back here to the news tab. All right, so you were gone for this on Friday, Dan, but we had a shooting in Southlake.
Oh, that's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of buzz about that.
Yeah, so it was in the morning. There was a wrong way crash, like right by the Central Market. A guy, 19-year-old from Colleyville, crashes into multiple cars, and as soon as a cop arrives, the suspect pulls a rifle, begins firing at another driver and at the officer. There's a surveillance video from one of the stores nearby, and it's a funny video. I don't know how else to tell you, because the guy who's running away looks like a Looney Tune, and it looks like the guy's shooting at his feet, like beep, 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 beep.
How would you look if you were running from a guy shooting at you?
I'm catching him, super manly.
Super cool.
I had an interesting scene at the I went and got my hair cut Saturday, and it was during the boys' nap, so I took the girl with me. We had to go to Academy and do a couple things.
To our place?
Yes.
To the barbershop? Okay, they must have loved her.
And it was popping.
Yeah.
But there was another family in there. Dad was getting his hair cut. Wife was there, and they had 2 kids that I'm going to say were probably 10 and 8, 2 boys, who already look like they have more money than I do. Like, they both had South Lake shirts on,
They do have more money than you do.
Yeah. So this topic of this shooting came up, and you know how it is in there. Once a topic comes up, the ladies are squawking about it, right? And the mom who's there takes out her phone and was like, "Oh, there's a video of it." So what does she do? She gets out the video, and her kids are like, "I want to see." And I'm not really judging whether or not you should let a kid see that. Nobody gets shot or killed in the video. But she's just playing it. You can hear, like, loud rifle round sounds as a 5th and 3rd grader. Like, he's running from the bullets right here. My daughter was sitting next to him. And they're like, did he get killed? Is he going to jail? Did anyone die? And she's, sweet little girl with her little coloring book. And I was like, Nora, turn this way.
Yeah.
And I did it kind of in a way. I said I wasn't judging. I was. I did it kind of in a way that was like, if you guys want to be shitty parents, I don't mind.
Yeah.
But my sweet girl is going to look over here. Because, it was like, pop, 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 pop. I was like, no.
But see, this is where Carter's prepared for this because he's seen his Lego characters get
That's
gassed.
true. You missed that the other day.
And into a fiery crash.
Yeah. Chemical assault. Suspect charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Also resisting arrest. This is always a fun tack on. But, yeah, that was a wild morning.
Road rage?
That's what they say, yeah. There was a lot of speculation. He must be on pills in the barbershop. A lot of that, yeah. And not a whole lot of leniency proposed from the justice system in there from the couple guys. They're like, throw away the key. Don't need him. Well, yeah, I don't know. You probably never did anything
So
wrong.
were you quiet the whole time? You didn't interject?
Like every single time I've had a haircut in the last 32 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Just don't say a word.
No. That's why it's important to find a lady or a man who's okay with that.
Yeah. Just kind of set the scene up front when you sit down, like, hey, I'm not a talker.
Yeah.
Please.
And
Don't
then
feel like chatting.
And then there's a time where they'll kind of find out what you do for a job. And I'm like, yeah, I use it all.
Yeah. I'm spent on the
Don't have
weekends.
any left. It's the tank.
You got to acclimate.
What do you mean?
You got to try to fit in.
Like talk?
Yeah. You need.
Why?
You get into gossip at the barbershop?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If they're talking about throwing away, yeah, I'll get in there. Like, ain't no room for that around here. You got to fit in.
You could just add the little phrase now and again just to egg them on. Just
And
like
I
that.
do.
Yeah.
Oh, I love hearing it.
Is it like a different feeling that comes over you in a barbershop than anywhere else in life that you have to fit in?
If I'm on the edge of it, yeah, I love hearing it.
Okay.
Blake acclimates to wherever he's with.
Yeah, but he's just kind of quiet. So it's interesting to me that in a barbershop, he's like, oh, yeah, you got to lock him up, man.
There is something to the
And then
nudge.
I'll flip on the other side. Like, I don't think anyone should ever go to jail.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
Doesn't matter.
If he's with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah, why are we
something
so mean?
to the little nudge. Just kind of a casual. I can't believe they got away with it either. Like vague enough to where.
But you're still existing. You're still saying something. Part of the conversation.
We had an update. We didn't have this on Friday because it came down during our show. Do you know about the update to your kayak story?
I did see something this weekend, yeah.
Yeah, so our boy Borgwardt, Ryan Borgwardt, 44, the dude in Wisconsin.
You hear about this guy? Faked his death to get away from his nagging wife and teenage kids, yeah.
There's so many other ways he could have done that.
I don't know. He's
faking his death. That's a little
Wasn't
dramatic.
he our Dumb Zone Man of the Week last week?
He was.
Yeah.
You all wish you could do the same?
Well, right up until the point
where he got caught.
Yeah. So he went out kayaking at a really deep lake. He had done some extensive planning, including, because he's a good dad, taking out a life insurance policy.
See?
Okay.
That would have paid him and the kids, $500,000. They're taken care of.
Texted his wife like at 10 p.m. like heading in now from the middle of the lake.
Yeah.
And then they found
curious.
like his life jacket.
And initially
Stuff.
they, couldn't find his body despite extensive searches in this lake and all around the lake. So they started, you probably remember the particulars better than I do, but eventually they get a hold of his computer after kind of like, hey, maybe we should.
Like there was no way, this wasn't like a stream or something where the body could be, they would find the body if he had drowned in that lake.
Yeah, so he was obviously
Like they dragged
not
the whole,
there.
they're like, this just seems weird. So they
Something's
started
not
looking
adding
into it, and found his computer, found that he had set up some overseas bank accounts, found a correspondence with a lady in a foreign country.
A lady in Uzbekistan.
Oh.
Yeah.
They had a little something going?
Found like how to get like what was his search history was kind of like a how to fake your
How to
own
fake
death.
your own
Yeah,
death.
stuff like that.
It's open to the search page.
Yeah. Well, no, it was like deleted.
He sort of tried.
Well, the whole thing is we all think that incognito mode is going to mean like no one can ever track that.
Yeah.
Which just means that maybe your wife won't be able to figure it out, but that's
Right.
probably the extent of it. Like the cops right away could find out he's been searching all this stuff.
Yeah. So the update is, they're saying the authorities, the officials in Wisconsin, were publicly like, just come home for your family.
Trying to prey on that, yeah.
Yeah, and they.
But the guy,
in my head,
if you're going to leave your teenage kids, you're
pretty
not
committed.
going. Yeah, you're not now. Hey, it's Christmas.
That was
Ryan.
the thing I was going to say. Is that in my head, the guy sounds like Dr. Phil, but that is what the sheriff said. He's like, what a better way to thank your family than to come home for the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's like, dude, this guy is
like you're going to fall for that too. Like,
oh yeah.
First of all, my family's going to be real fired up to
yeah.
see me.
And I'm back.
You're probably going to throw me in jail.
Hello, Mr. Policeman. How have you been?
You're the only Christmas present I need, Dad.
Yeah, like it's just all good. Everybody. Oh, my wife. I bet she can't wait to have sex with me. No.
He's probably
guy's-
all horny.
Yeah. Oh God. You
He's just
came
been
back
waiting
for
this
me.
whole time.
Yeah, like he's a war hero.
Looking at my
It's like,
picture.
No, the update is that through some digital tracing and detective work, they eventually figured out a way to contact him. And when they tried to contact him, based on a number that they thought was him, a Russian woman was answering, or a woman speaking Russian. And they communicated through her, and eventually on Friday he posted or sent to them, and they posted like a 3-minute proof of life video where he won't tell them where he is, but says he's safe and says he ain't coming back. So stop looking. And really, I guess the only thing they could get him on is obstruction of justice. That's the only charge I've seen mentioned. But if the guy doesn't want to be found, then was there really an investigation warranted in the first place that's being obstructed? You're just like, I'm
there's
leaving.
The life insurance.
That's a problem. But that'll be like a civil thing, right? Or
Yeah, but he never overtly said, hey, I'm dead. He just left and left his license and phone.
He tried to fake it to get them the life insurance money.
That is what the circumstantial evidence would say,
Well,
Your Honor.
if he's texting her, hey, I'm heading back in, and he's kayaking, and then he's just in Russia.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, the life insurance policy, that's just kind of like a solid PR move. He doesn't really give a shit about that.
Right.
He wanted to be over there in Uzbek's ass. Like,
yeah, and if they bust him on the life insurance thing,
he's like, oh, well.
Then, yes, but then the future people like me who fake their death will be like, okay, well, I better not get a life insurance policy. That's just going to hurt future kids.
Think of them.
Think of the kids.
Yeah, just imagine, like, you're a kid and this all happens. I can't remember. Do you remember the ages? I mean, I know they're young.
Teenagers, I thought, yeah. God. Which I understand then.
Teenagers are hard.
You come... Yeah, but not like leave the country.
Well, right.
Well,
yeah.
you haven't had a teenager yet. Talk to us in 10 years.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I just feel like
I'm here to support Ryan.
I feel like they're not going to be easier if you try to trick them into thinking you're dead. You better pull it off.
Yeah, but
because if not, I don't think they're gonna. You know, like if your kids are like
again, this
5
is
or
better
even
than my
2.
biological father who just left us with nothing. At least this guy faked his death and tried to give him $300,000.
Yeah, he did try.
Yeah, he's a true hero, actually.
Father of the year.
Yeah.
Tough to argue with.
Yeah.
But how terrible, though, to know he's alive. If your dad is alive and wanted to leave so bad that he faked his death.
Yeah,
so
if you're the authorities, that's on you for telling the family.
Yeah, they have
just
to live
keep
with that.
Keep it with yourself until you can get him back.
And if you're the kid, do you try to go over to Uzbekistan and find him?
No.
He didn't want to see
That's
you.
going to haunt them for the rest of their lives, though.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of therapy there.
There
is. Scary scene at the Potter's House of Dallas yesterday, Dan. You know what that is?
No.
It's the church that is the place to see and be seen in Dallas.
A church to see and be seen?
Yeah, it's T.D. Jake's church.
That's like Emmett's guy, right?
Emmett, and there's tons and tons of athletes. It's a mega church. And like most mega churches, they live stream their Sunday services.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
how do they do numbers?
Yeah, they have.
What are their downloads like?
They have.
That's not uncommon.
They have ads turned on. No, it's not uncommon at all. Although I will tell you that someone told me. I was talking to someone recently about church and that sort of stuff. They're like, "Yeah, I do Sunday morning virtual every week."
Bedside Baptist.
And I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel like the big man really looks at that as 100% going to church.
You got to get dressed and
Yeah,
drive somewhere.
If you're not about to die from
have
the
cookies.
smell of your mom's hairspray in the car, you ain't going to church.
Watching those curlers come out.
Right. If you don't have to sit there and watch her, quote, visit for an extra hour after the service is ended, you're not putting in the work. That doesn't
to her
count.
sing the hymns.
Yeah, exactly. About to pass out because I've been leg locked for 25 minutes. No, none of that. You can't. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
It doesn't count. But this one was being live streamed, and I think it was like 90 minutes in. It was a fair piece into the service. Jakes, who was 67, had a medical emergency. He sort of froze up and fell to the ground, and they quickly cut the live stream.
Oh.
And I haven't seen the clip, but in the Fox News story about it, Fox 4 website, it said everybody rushes up to him, and they're saying, get back, give him room. And then they cut the stream.
Damn. Kind of like the Austin Eckler thing.
It's a lot like that.
They play the Fox injury bed.
No.
They have
That's
like
not
a
what they do. They would do a slow version. Yeah, exactly.
Organist.
The slow version of Open the... What is that song? I want to see you. You know all that shit. Come on.
I wouldn't call it shit.
Then why are you so afraid to sing it?
It's like open the eyes of my heart, Lord.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know these songs. You know, the funny part about this whole
That was
TD
really
Jakes
good,
thing,
guys.
Thank you.
randomly he's having health events. Maybe he's pretty stressed out because over the last month he's been heavily linked to P. Diddy.
Ooh, really?
Darn it.
Yeah. He is mentioned in
evil laugh.
some of the lawsuits.
Like how so? He was at the party?
He was accused of participating in sex parties with P. Diddy.
Whoa.
I'm pretty sure that when Cat Williams hilariously pushed the domino that set this entire thing off about a year ago. He mentioned TD Jakes.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. That, like, there's this entire – he focused on famous black people, but it's certainly both. He's like, hey, there's these sex parties. They want you to be a homosexual, and all these guys are having sex with each other. He listed TD Jakes.
Interesting.
And then he collapses on stage.
Just saying.
Just saying.
But it could be because of these, horrific, unfounded accusations.
Yeah, that's probably true. You'd probably be pretty stressed out either way,
Is
right?
everyone okay?
Yeah, no, they got to beat that dough, bro. That's how it gets made. That's how it gets made.
All right.
Someone's getting punished.
All right, you know what?
I was unfamiliar.
There's your news.
The Dumb Zone News. Like and
I want to see.
Not a bad one.
I have a couple of birthdays, and then we'll do Today in History, if that's good with you, Julie.
That is a catchy song. Now it's stuck in my head.
In fact, a couple came in during the show, so let me pull this up as well.
Some newborn babies? While we were doing our show?
A couple emails have come in.
Oh, okay.
I think from old babies.
Oh, okay. Former babies.
It is funny to call an adult old baby.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Hello, Viceroy. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Viceroy?
Viceroy.
Viceroy, right? Like you're saying it like it's Soroy.
Oh, hello, Viceroy of the Vagina.
Oh.
Yeah.
My name is Leslie Stepp, a passenger princess DF who is a big fan of the hit TV show The Boys. Thank you for your courage in educating the masses on this incredible television program. I would like to wish my husband, Matt Stepp, a happy birthday.
Hey.
I did not wake him up in that special way because I'm in Canada and he's in Texas for the high school football playoffs. His leaders are Chappie betting on RYA football games, Doug Townsend, and the dog that got pleasured in Joe Kemp's Tulane apartment.
Yeah.
Thank you and happy Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Thank you, wife of...
Greetings, Muff Duster.
Notice I just kind of left that one there, Blake.
Yeah, I noticed.
I want to wish my D1 number 488 wife, Dees, D-E-E-S.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
A happy 34th birthday. This is from a lady.
So her wife
her name's
is
Amanda.
named Dees?
All right.
And she
Amanda
has a
and
wife
Dees?
named Dees. She says, Blake is her leader since they are both into dark shit like Columbine and 9/11.
And you got the Lindsey Sterling thing.
Let's meet up.
Her and Jake do the same type of sightseeing on vacations, like visiting Cielo Drive, the Aurora Movie Theater, and the JonBenet Ramsey House, to name a few. More Sarah Heppola and Jasmine on chocolate shrooms. Dan, it could be argued at this point that The Boys is a top 5 show of all time, replacing Schitt's Creek. No puppet from Amanda. P.S. Moosing knows no gender.
Hey. Okay.
Nice. That's the hottest email you ever read.
Dear Daniel Poon.
That's up there.
Can I get a Poon skin cap?
I love it.
How would you get Poon skin, Julie?
I don't know, dude.
Oh.
Don't look at me.
Well, I'm looking for someone that might...
expert.
Yesterday was the birthday of Day 2 DF Brandon in Detroit. I don't know how old he is.
Smell you coming.
His leaders are Heart Attack Man's True Identity, Dropping the Low C, and F-Holes. More Dan from Pittsburgh DF Aaron. And then I got these during the show. Dear... I can't read that word. Julie, can you read that?
Oh, gosh. This is going to be a trick, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not reading that word. It rhymes with hunt.
Dear Sea Commander,
Please wish my good friend and Day 1 DF, Adam Jones, happy 39th. His wife is extremely cool, so I'm sure he was woken up in that special way. His leaders are Chappie, Jake going to rehab to get away from his family for 30 days, and the Roast
Don't knock
Twins
it till you tried it.
from his
Next
neighbor
level.
and friend Zach.
Oh, I guess I have to get addicted to something. Step out for a
Better
few
than
weeks.
faking your own death, I guess.
And Garrett writes, I would like to wish my buddy Brady a happy 29th. His leaders are Chin Dildos.
What?
Cheryl Crow.
What?
And the guy that called Jake into the room to watch him make a chick squirt.
Still, at least
What is happening?
that did happen.
Those things happen.
Hey, a guy walked in here earlier. I'm going to try to transition this to not that. He gave me this note. He didn't stick around, but his son is a big listener who is in the Navy. He is stationed. See,
in the Navy, you can sail the seven seas.
Served in Afghanistan with a SEAL team. No.
Thought everybody was going to start singing.
But he also said that he's currently stationed in Memphis. So I'm like reading through this email, and I'm like, oh, man, I hope this guy's doing okay. And he's just like, hanging out with like Morgan Wallen or something. I don't know. But anyways, he named his daughter Nora Claire.
Aww.
Who was born yesterday. So shout out to Brian Henson.
All right.
See, I try to give you something uplifting as you're over here. Oh, remember when that girl squirted?
Was it awesome?
It's weird. It's really weird, dude.
Segue to that after talking about
Really, really
daughter's
weird.
name.
That's the only time I've ever.
This is all too much.
The Dumb Zone presents
Yep.
Today in History.
So that's not like an anniversary thing for you?
I don't even know what you just said.
Monday, November 25th is the day. On this day in 1920, radio station WTAW in College Station broadcast the first play-by-play description of a football game.
That's cool.
Texas played against the Agricultural and Mechanical College of Texas. Is that what A&M used to be called?
Yep.
All right. Texas won 7-3.
You fired up for this weekend?
Quite a showdown.
Will you watch that game live?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
That's exciting. I'm excited to have it back, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I'm glad it's Saturday. Sometimes
Instead
it would
of
be
Friday?
Yeah. I think we need that.
On this day in 1974, the Rangers' Mike Hargrove won Rookie of the Year. What is Mike Hargrove's connection to Julie? You don't even know?
I think I do.
He had breast cancer?
He is the godfather of
My partner in crime.
Emily Jones.
Really?
Yeah.
Godfather, like, is that a legal thing?
I don't think so.
I think, is it not at all?
No. Like, my kids have a godfather.
I think I do,
because
too.
my wife is all Catholic and stuff.
Yeah, my...
But it doesn't mean anything. Like, they don't do anything for the kids.
Yeah,
your kids
I
have
used
one?
to. Yeah, mine have godparents, but I used to think that the godparents would like get your kids if you died.
That's what I thought.
But that's
a
it doesn't-
legal thing.
It
There's
doesn't.
a-
Yeah, that's a legal thing that you like have to do some paperwork and
Yeah.
stuff, and then
Okay.
you write who you want to get your kids. So you don't have to have a godparent for your kids to have somewhere to go when you die.
Yeah,
That makes
because
sense.
my the guy that I was told was my godfather is my dad's best friend, and he's otherwise a great dude. He put money back for me when I was a kid that I got when I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
That helped me pay for college. It was like it ended up being, $6 or $7 grand 18 years later. But I also, when I was growing up, like, so he's my godfather. This is the guy that I'm going to go to if something happens. And what you should know about my, quote, godfather is after his 7th DUI, he ended up having to do a year in prison.
Oh man.
Totally sober now. Really fun guy to be around. But even as a kid, I was like, man, if something bad happens to my parents, this is going to be wild.
Right, like your backup parents in prison. Then
Yeah,
what?
he was
This
getting
might
after it.
explain a little something, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If
I
you're-
mean, there's plenty of those I could reel off for you.
Okay. And on this day in 1999, Elian Gonzalez,
Julie,
a
do you remember
5-year-old
Elian?
Cuban boy, was rescued by a pair of sport fishermen off the coast of Florida, setting off an international custody battle.
So we got Janet Reno's dance party.
Elian Gonzalez. Did you know he's currently married to Jessica, who fell down the well?
No, he's
amazing?
not.
Yeah.
Just the last couple.
No, there's an app for him and Balloon Boy.
Yeah, they just all for viral story.
Their poor kids don't stand a chance.
Yeah, I just saw Clock Boy and Honey Boo Boo got a divorce.
Yeah. On this day in 1987, comedian weddings on this day. Comedian Phil Hartman married former model Bryn Omdahl. That did not work out well.
No,
because she killed him.
Whoa.
Eventually, not that day.
Think he regrets marrying her?
And famous divorce on this day. On this day in 2002, Nicolas Cage divorced Lisa Marie Presley after 3 months of marriage.
Jeez.
I think he was stoked on Elvis and was just fired up to.
I could see that.
To marry Elvis's daughter.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Today's birthdays of famous people include Dennis Smith Jr. is 27.
Dang, just 27.
Boy, if I had a nickel for every time Jake told me that Dennis Smith Jr. was the next Jordan.
Jordan. The numbers were there.
Former Mav Eric Strickland, 51. Coffee czar, or what would you call like a mogul? Somebody who's an empire. Who runs an empire? A mogul?
Could be any number of things.
It's Bernie Kosar, is 61.
Okay, cool.
He has a coffee company.
I saw. I learned about that. How's the coffee? You never opened it, right? You want to just preserve it?
Right. What's his? Doesn't he have a daughter in porn or something?
Lexi Silver, I think is what she goes by.
She's in porn.
Yeah.
Oh.
But her face looks like Bernie Kosar.
It's
I
really
swear
weird.
to God.
It's really tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
Which is
so
perfect
sorry.
for me.
I'm so sorry for your struggles.
Always loved Bernie growing up, and this is the perfect girl for me.
Yeah.
I could have sex with Bernie, but I'm not being gay.
That's
because it's a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
I know. Thank you. Chip Kelly, 61. Joe
OC.
Gibbs, 84.
He was there yesterday.
He was. Donovan McNabb, 48.
He definitely has the deal where you look 70 when you're 30, so then for the next 50 years.
Oh
you
my
look
God!
like
I was
you
like, I
haven't
can't believe he's
aged.
alive.
Yeah, I saw him when I saw
Yeah.
him yesterday. I was like, this guy hasn't aged from being 84.
He
since
actually did.
1984.
He was on the sideline when Tom Landry is on the sideline, right?
Yeah.
Is he that? Was he against Landry, or was he post?
I bet you the tail end of Landry and George Allen.
Okay.
Very close though.
Certainly Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
But
Remember
he
when
did look really old.
Also, remember when they just brought Joe Gibbs back?
Yeah. Daniel
I was
Snyder
looking at
did.
their Pro Football Reference today, and it's hilarious. Their coaching scene is hilarious.
Chris Carter is 59, former wide receiver. Says here Kempspin.
I know wait.
He was a Vikings wide receiver.
Well, yeah.
When Randy Moss first got there.
I'm well aware of Chris Carter. I'm just trying to remember the.
Is there a Kempspin?
Is it just drugs?
What do you got, Blake?
I mean, he's Fall Guy. Yeah, he's the. Tell Warren Sapp and him were up at the rookie symposium. You gotta have a Fall Guy, but that doesn't.
If it's not on Blake's list, maybe my list is wrong.
No, he's not on here.
It's on my DFW birthday list as Kempspin. Jalen Waddle, 26. Mark Whitten is 58. Hard-hitting Mark Whitten was a Cleveland Indian for a while, but then has a couple of bullet points that are interesting about his career, or I find them interesting.
Oh, okay. You don't spell it C-H-R-I-S.
No, C-R-I-S.
His Kempspin is he told all NFL rookies that they needed a fall guy.
That barely counts.
Mark Whitten had 4 home runs and 12 RBI in a game. Pretty impressive. He also pitched 1 inning in his whole career, just like a mop-up thing. Struck out the side. So he has an average K per 9 of 27.
Pretty impressive.
Thank you. I needed you just to nod and say something when I come up with these impressive notes. Joey Chestnut, 41.
That's a hard 41.
Yeah.
Bruno Tonioli is 69.
Tambioli?
I don't know.
Tonioli from Dancing with the Stars?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
Nice.
Christina.
There's one guy.
There we go. Dancing with the Stars fan in the back.
One guy who was so into it, he just randomly
He was a
clapped.
big Bruno fan.
Is it Engineer Tony? Can you imagine?
No, it's not.
Christina Applegate, 53.
She's awesome, but she's really kind of annoying about politics.
Really?
Yeah. She's sick, too.
Yeah,
She had
she's
a tough
sick.
scene. Yeah.
Sick, like awesome?
Yeah, bro. Terminally ill.
Oh, is she all
Yeah, she's got something.
cancered up?
It's not cancer.
Ben Stein is 80, if alive.
Yeah,
I
he's
didn't really
alive.
Check that.
He's alive.
Ben Stein's
I used
money.
to watch his show a lot. He's definitely out there on the politics front for you, but I liked that show. I liked Jimmy on that show. That was a Comedy Central standby.
Barbara and Jenna Bush.
Jake.
Oh, happy
43.
birthday.
Dan would call them, quote, fat.
Really?
Of course
Yeah, but they're twins and they're famous, so they go up a notches. Couple notches.
They went to
Right?
my high school. I told y'all that, right?
Really?
I don't remember what radio. It might have been Freak People. We talked about that a lot with. Yeah, they went to my high school.
They're not that much older than us, are they?
They were seniors when I was a freshman.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
I guess I didn't realize that. You're 03, right?
Yeah.
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 Oh, can I tell you a Julie story? I was telling him we had dinner on Friday
Mark
night.
that, Beth.
So we're both turning 40 next year.
Okay.
We're both
Lordy.
We're both like we should have been.
I bet she would love that, like
Oh,
the Lordy,
yes.
look who's
Okay, well,
40
hold on.
sign.
Yes.
Hold on. I'm getting to that.
All right,
I'm
sorry.
not my mom.
So, no, but we both easily, if we would have graduated 04, would have been. I would be in the NFL. You know, she would probably gone to Harvard. We got pushed forward.
Ah.
So she's
Yeah.
summer. I'm summer. That also means our birthdays for 39 were not that long ago. And I walked back up to the table. I went to the bathroom when I got there. So it's my wife, Julie, and her husband. I sit back down. They're talking about planning something. And it's talking about planning a trip, where they want to go, this and that. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? And I can't remember if Julie or Kelly said, we're like, oh, what we're going to do for her 40th. It's next year. And so I'm thinking like, man, I thought her birthday was around mine. Like maybe they're going. I'm like, that's a year away.
It's not a year
And
away.
they were having like this deep planning talk about like the 4 things they want to do for her 40th birthday. And I'm like, I haven't thought about it.
So you were judging us that whole time.
No, I just realized that's what women do. Because my
Yeah.
wife is 37 or something.
She
and already
probably has something
designs
in mind.
on.
Yeah. Well,
the
because some
trip
people
for
want to
her
go on a
40th.
big trip, and so you kind of have to pre-plan that, right?
I thought ladies hate when they turn 40. Don't you want to just ignore
That's why
that?
we all
and-
just get hammered. Like, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So you have to plan something fun, something to look forward to.
Well, why'd you get hammered Friday then?
I did not.
Because it was Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I did. I don't remember.
Well, Jake knows a place.
Yeah. Scan this QR code.
Wonder if they do advertising.
They
They just don't need it, right? They're like, we're full.
Yeah,
Doesn't
probably
matter.
don't need it. Probably don't need it. Although I have told you that there tends to be a bit of a dry spell, no pun intended, at those places and at like group therapy around this time of year. Because most people are like, look,
Let's get through the
I've already
holidays.
made it this far. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
I'll
not
do my bend. Yeah, they got to be packed in January.
This is
Oh,
the
dude,
slow
I've been in
season.
January to like a group therapy thing, and I'm like, do we need more seats? An overflow room with a closed circuit television?
Just like Weight Watchers.
oh,
everything.
yeah. The gym on Monday.
And actor Jerry Ferrara is 45.
Is that Vince? Turtle.
That's right. I'm a fan.
Oh, I know.
Oh, gosh. What's wrong with Entourage, man?
Ugh.
You ever do it, Blake?
No.
I watched Entourage. Are y'all too cool for that?
No, I mean, I've
I
seen
think
it.
it's great.
It
I
just,
liked it.
was as
High five me.
lowest
Okay.
common denominator.
Julie would love. You talk about just needing a talking. Like, if I
I'm
said
never
Blake,
gonna
high
not
five me.
high-five
Blake is not
anybody
going to
ever.
high five me. He's going to be like, what?
What is the grounds for this high five?
Right.
What is the basis?
But like, you've ever seen anyone happier to be asked for a high five.
Oh,
and
no, I
Julie,
know. This just made her day.
Like, she's like, yes.
Yes.
I've been holding this high five for
First high five of the day.
Holding it in.
first of the
Killing
day. Did you have drinking buddy that was high five guy? Like everything somebody would say, like in the bar as you're drinking. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, but I might have been right there.
Oh,
You're a high five guy.
Born on this day, now dead, Joe DiMaggio.
Marilyn Monroe? Or was that Mickey Mantle?
Yeah, that's Marilyn Monroe. John F. Kennedy Jr. Now, his dad also had Marilyn Monroe. Interesting. And Amber Hagerman.
Of the alert.
She is of the Amber Alert system.
Whoa.
Do you think that's cool? Would
She's
you
so
like
famous.
She was she was kidnapped and murdered.
Well, at least we all remember her every time an Amber Alert goes off.
I hear now that
It's better
she's.
than not being
You could probably
remembered.
tell her parents that, and I'm sure they'll feel a lot better.
Everyone's pissed off.
Yeah, every time it happens.
Effing Amber
it's in
Alert.
Houston.
It's
I hear now
2:30 in the
she's
morning.
dating Damn Daniel.
Dead on this day, still dead, you have
Oh, come
Theobald
on.
Boehm, the inventor of the flute.
Oh, that's nice.
How about that? You ever play the flute?
No, I never played the flute. I played the French horn, though.
I got nothing.
Fun
Go
fact.
Nobody has a follow-up for Julie?
No? I'm going to leave that to you, Mr. Protein Shake.
I'm not thinking anything.
What's happening? What are y'all doing? Something gross with a flute?
Dan watched.
Hold on, I'm still thinking.
Dan watched American Pie once, and he had to watch it because his daughter went to band camp.
Yeah, and they did something with the flute on that movie.
I don't remember what it was, but yeah.
So y'all are 12, basically.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Dumb zone.
Kennesaw Mountain
Right.
Landis, born on this day, now dead. I wasn't really thinking of band camp. I was going for skin flute, but you go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Oh, gross.
Generational. Yeah. That was the one that Marvin Miller couldn't stand, right? Or was he a
no,
good
no,
guy?
no, no, no. Kennesaw Mountain Landis was from the Black Sox era.
Okay. Who am I
Marvin
thinking?
Miller is
The bad guy with the league. It's not important.
It's not important.
It's been a long time
But now
since I read
can't.
that book, but the MLB commissioner of that day, who was a real piece of work.
God damn.
I'll find it.
Bowie Kuhn.
Whoa.
His name is Bowie Kuhn.
Okay.
And died on this day in
Not Poon.
Bowie Poon. 1978 is Elaine Esposito. She held the record for being in a coma for the longest period of time.
Wow.
Dang. What is it?
37 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
She must have really wanted to get away from her husband.
Yeah.
Think she ever just did one eye? He's still there.
They don't see me, do they?
Every time he's just
Is he
fatter.
gone yet?
And that was Today in History.
Well, thanks to Kane Rosso and thanks to Julie Dobbs. Julie.
More so Cane Rosso. We love coming out here. This is awesome.
Did
Where's Jay?
anybody have any tots?
Did Jay come on with y'all?
They had some tater tots.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, Jay was here.
He was?
Yeah, there were dogs.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Well, you didn't
Adios.
have to end it
Okay,
like
cool.
that.
Gotta go before
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of